Do you like beer?
I still like beer.
And sitting down?
Sit your little sexy ass down.
Then do we have an event for you? It's Tom and Dan's Sofa and Suds 2021. November 14th from 2 to 6 p.m. in the heart of beautiful downtown Sanford. Watch businesses from surrounding areas race couches to see who will be this year's reigning champ. Who will be the fastest? Who will bring home the coveted title of crowd favorite? Admission is free, but please no coolers or outside food and drink. VIP tickets just $49 with comp drinks, bathroom access, prime viewing area, and full access to pit row. You've never seen couches this fast. We've never seen couches this fast. Couches shouldn't be this fast. It's Tom and Dan's Sofa and Suds 2021. Brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Just call Mo.com and Secured Roofing and Restoration. All info at Facebook.com/Sofa and Suds.
The best to you from Kmart Radio. KMRT.
Live from the Streamline Mortgage Solutions studio, it's Orlando's own Tom and Dan. Whoopee!
Hello, this is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, buddy, welcome to a massive TD Friday. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
I didn't say it that time. I said TD Friday. Finally, I got it right.
Samantha's here. How you doing, Samantha?
Hey, I'm back, baby.
Butler's here.
I gotta fix his camera. Good morning, Butler.
Good morning.
Hopefully, if technology works out, we'll have SBK on one way or the other.
We saw him for like a split second to via Zoom. Yeah. He has a lovely, amazing yellow sweatshirt on. I'm brightening the colors in my wardrobe. That's going to be a thing you're going to see me start rolling out. I'm going to get all new clothing.
Sofa and Suds, November 14th. The races start at 2. We got all our merch in.
We do.
We're going to have brand new merch out there. I'll give a sneak peek to Twitch. So we got the Tom and Dan purple and gold.
What the hell? I haven't even seen these.
We're calling that
right?
I guess is that the racer logo? Or that's
no, that's like future 80s or 90s.
We got the T&D.
That's more like
that is the racer logo.
That's our racer logo, or like our industry logo. So T&D Industries.
That's the simple one. We got a new BDM shirt, the Touching Tips.
Yeah,
we haven't come out that in a while.
All of this live on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live.
New girl shirt. I like that one a lot.
I'm pissed off that said girl shirt. But hey, you ladies get the best design, I think.
New T&D hat.
Industry hat. I love that.
Grab some of this before Eric sells out.
That industry hat's dope, man. I don't even have one of those. Eric's the only one that has one of those.
Yeah.
It's like a green and khaki. It's really nice.
Anyway.
Super nice stuff that we're releasing. And we're going to have all of that at Sofa and Suds. It's going to be killer.
Yep, it'll be at the merch tent, and I got Kevin. That'll be your first chance to buy it out. Hopefully it works. Let's see.
I'm going to go there. I mean, we're running it raw today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you hear us?
You don't have to yell.
No! I see you! I see
your face!
No audio! That's a big-ass mic you got. I think your mic...
Screen. I like it.
He's asking if we can hear him.
No, we can't hear you. We can't hear. There's no audio. No audio.
Oh, he's bad. Oh, no. Don't get mad.
I know. He said he was working fine this morning, and...
Oh, what happened?
No.
That's a big-ass mic, right? Like, is he mic cock-holding me?
It is blurred out on the tip. Look, it's blurred out on the tip. You can't show the head on Twitch.
How big is that mic? It's way bigger.
A big old mic.
That's way bigger than mine.
A fucking lightsaber.
That's a foot-long mic, thick.
We can't hear. I don't know what to do either.
That's a foot-long, thick boy.
I think you can hear us.
Huh? Okay.
So you can hear us.
Maybe. I'm trying to read his lips.
you hear
Hey, give us a thumbs up if you can hear us. No.
He's blurring the tip.
All right, just call in.
Call in. Should I hang up on him?
Right, call in.
Oh, he hung up.
Okay, yeah. He said he was
He
gonna
like
call him.
shrunk into the corner. Oh.
So
Technology.
Well, it was
See what he
worth
calls
it for
him.
the big black tip.
Hey, but everybody got to see SBK's big black tip.
Yeah.
And they blurred the tip.
We'll talk to him. So the birds are here at my house.
No, I kind of felt like these birds that came in, I felt like they came in fast. I
I
feel
felt like they came in slow because he left work early one day, and then I thought he was getting the birds.
Yeah.
No,
This all plays into the
Okay.
story
I
I'm
was
about to
interested.
tell.
Oh, we got Kevin.
Okay, normally when the we'll
Yeah,
handle
yeah.
Kevin, then we'll go back to the
Snag it,
birds.
he's calling line 2. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kevin, can
Hey
hear
man,
me.
can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. All right, we're good.
What's going on, Kevin?
How do you use Zoom? That's what this is about, right?
Don't ask me.
Yeah, don't ask
I was
me.
just telling Daniel, I was like, I got nothing. Like, I have
Damn
no idea how to even try to fix this or what even to suggest would work.
Now-
I'm just sitting here
Look,
looking at I sit here and be like, hopefully, I'll cross my fingers.
Look, I know Kevin knows his way. The guy's got one of the biggest producer hats in the game, but I'll tell you something about Zoom. Sometimes with Zoom, it doesn't matter how good you are. Sometimes Zoom and Skype does the same thing too. They'll just say, we're not going to work today, depending on what your connection is. So I'm sorry, man, but at least we got to see you for a split second.
Here's the thing. I did Tuttle's podcast last week, and that shit was crystal clear. Like, I don't know what's going on. I think
Tuttle's got the best
And I
audio in the
haven't-
game.
you know. Here's the thing, and I haven't even turned my I haven't been on another Zoom meeting since that. And I just opened up. I thought the settings. I checked it this morning.
I'm sorry, man.
I couldn't hear you guys at all. So I don't know what I needed to do, but.
Well,
Man,
we got you now.
It's all good. So, Kevin, I want to talk
Yes.
all about a lot of things going on with you and the new SBK Show podcast.
I
and
love the
everything.
show, man. It's really good.
But real quick, before we start, I've been talking about these birds coming to my house, and I'll explain to you real quick. My mother-in-law has these birds. She's renovating her entire house, and my wife basically
Is she
suggested...
renovating the house because the birds destroyed it?
Yes and no.
All right.
No, it's
Because birds, they like to eat. I would imagine that walls to birds just look like another thing to chew on, right?
Well,
Big ass crow.
But what kind of bird? What kind of bird are you talking about?
Big
like there's a cockatoo and some
African gray.
African gray parrot, and then Peanut is, I think, a standard Bobo parrot. Like generic,
Mixed breed.
They're big
a
enough to fuck
basic
you
bitch
up.
Heinz
parrot.
57.
Yeah. By the way, Kevin, did you ever have birds?
I had a cockatiel in college, and I had him until when they give them to you, they clip the wings.
Yes.
Yeah, and I had him until his wings grew back, and then I gave him his freedom.
So Kevin, basically my wife suggested to my mother-in-law that we take the birds while they do the major demolition. They rip up the floors because it's so loud or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this construction started a long time ago. My mother-in-law went out of town, and she went on a fringe trip. And she goes on these fringe trips to with her old school friends. She went to Machu Picchu one time.
They do
and
like
they're,
that. It's like the. I've seen these movies. These are where ladies
Yeah,
do
yeah.
the traveling pants.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, traveling
They do
pants,
The sisterhood of the traveling pants, and you go
Wait.
and you all wear the same hat, and you have a mimosa, and then you take a photo at the top of a hiking trail. I've seen this.
You talking about sexual tourism?
no.
No, this is like
It's like old white lady
Yeah.
traveling pants.
Well, don't say
Yeah.
old, but older white
No,
ladies.
yeah,
My
yeah.
mom did this to Ireland. My mom went on a sisterhood of the traveling pants trip with a bunch of old white ladies to Ireland, and then they all walked around. They take a picture at the top of a castle, and then they come home. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and in between that, a bunch of black D.
Blur the tip.
Go
So
over with all your friends and been talking about this shit for 40 years. Yeah.
hold on, Kevin. Hold on, why do
your
you?
mother-in-law's on a
Hold
big
on.
black bull trip?
Yeah. You're definitely fucking with everybody, right? Why is your mic so big?
It's the biggest biggest microphone I've ever seen in my life. Motherfucker, hey, Kevin's microphone is 3 feet long, and the tip of it is blurred like a porno.
What are we talking about here?
You didn't see that?
Wasn't working.
You didn't see that on. You did not see the blurred on the on.
It was
On
on
your
Twitch.
Zoom?
Anyway.
You didn't see that?
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
That's good.
I didn't see anything.
So my mother-in-law's gone now. My sister-in-law, her daughter, my wife's sister, lives with my mother-in-law at the house, and
Oh, I like her TikTok. She did a great video. You and the birds.
so the other day, my wife tells me like, oh, the contractor called. He's starting demo early because he's starting the floor demo early. 6 weeks before they even install the floor because of scheduling something. Right? Again, she's like, I tried to call him and change it, and he wasn't having it. He said,
I'm
now or
not
never.
doing it.
Contractors, by the way, live in virtual chaos. It's insane to have to do this.
Virtual insanity?
It's all chaos all the time with contractors.
Jamiroquai.
Anyway,
fuzzy hat.
so my wife's like, we got to get the birds out of here today, and that was the day I left early to get the birds. Right.
This is why it's nice to not answer your phone when your wife calls. That's score one for Daniel, right? Like I'm just like I'm too busy.
So I leave work early. I go there, and it's calm where the birds are in the spare room, right? And then, so we all have the discussion like, do we take the work starting tomorrow? But then I get the word that the contractor said, yeah, we're probably going to demo the floors in the afternoon. We're going to start with the kitchen, and then we're not using the crazy tractor. Like that
peels up all the tiles.
Well, when At Home Floor Store redid my floors, their demo team had this guy on a tiny little machine
with the vacuum, right?
No, it was to knock up the tile. It was the size. It was tiny. It was the size of those green electrical boxes, but the small ones on the corner of the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was super tall, and a guy sat on it, and the guy that was sitting on it looked like Barry,
Are you
COVID
sure?
Barry. I'm seriously, that was doing mine, and he sat there and he chipped up, and it was loud as hell. It was like so loud that it set off the smoke alarms, and like you couldn't even hear your own voice in there. So that's what I was thinking was going to happen. Then the contractor's like, no, we're using a hand thing. And so then
We're a little old school. Old trade.
I started talking myself into, well, maybe the birds it's not going to be that loud. And I started talking this out loud because I'm trying to get out of having the birds come to my
Now,
house.
can the birds hear you say all this?
I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't figured out if they understand English or not because they talk it. So
Do they walk it like they talk?
it's like the contractors I'm about to explain the next morning. So so then I start talking, and it's a bad at life trait that I've always had, which I'll avoid things that I don't want to do and talk myself into lies to avoid the things I don't want to do, right? And Kevin, do you understand? Like I'll basically tell myself, like I started saying out loud, I was like, well, maybe this floors is not going to be that loud, and we don't have to take, because the birds are in the back room right now. We just
Slow
close the
down,
door.
Everybody calm down.
I'm like, so because my wife wanted to bring the birds over that night, and in a calm fashion, bring one at a time, the cage, roll them over to the house.
And maybe play some music as they come in.
Yeah. And then I'm like, well, let's wait till tomorrow and then talk to the contractor, and maybe it's not going to be that loud. And
Give
the
us a
birds
demonstration of how loud you're going to be so we see if our birds can stay in here.
Which was a huge mistake because, of course, it's going to be loud. And, of course, like demoing the entire kitchen and all the tiles is going to be insane. And it was just me trying to be lazy or get out of this responsibility. Anyway, so I take the kids to school the next morning. And I get a call from my wife, and I answer the phone, and all I hear in the background is total chaos, like, and she's like, you have to get over here, the birds are going to have a seizure.
Oh, my God.
And I'm like, what? The birds are freaking out, and they're destroying everything.
Were they, or was she freaking out because she was playing the part of the birds' feelings? Because I don't think birds know I don't think they know what's happening.
I zoom back to the house, I get out.
That's not going to help anything. You need to go over there.
There are people everywhere. There's a bunch of contractors and workers like in and out of the house, dust pouring out of the front of the house, right? And so I get in there, and it's pure insanity, and people are shoveling, and
Even the birds are shoveling. It was crazy. They were helping.
There's a guy with a jackhammer, like hammering the tile. You know, like the thing, like da 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 da, and it's reverberating.
I don't even need to be here. I'm just making it louder.
And then Crystal's sister running around. There's dust everywhere, and then I'm
What
like,
do they do? Are they holding the birds? Are they like putting
No,
little earmuffs on them? Are they wrapping their
no,
head in
they don't
toilet
give
paper?
two shits about anything. They're the workers there to get this shit out of there as fast as possible.
What are your wife and her sister doing with the birds? Are they holding them? Are they cuddling them?
They're in the back room freaking out. So I run into the back room. She's like, we have to get out of here fast. And it's like the birds are freaking out. Look at the birds; they're shaking, like they look like meth head eyes. And so
I like that you are now Bird MacGyver. You're like, I'll get you guys out of here. I'm your last hope.
So
we're gonna have to knock a hole through this wall.
So first, my wife goes to the guy that is breaking up the tile, right? Which he does not want to stop because I'm sure
Excuse me, sir. I would like to introduce you to my birds. Fuck you, bitch.
I'm pretty sure these guys, like, they get paid like a lump sum or whatever to like knock this shit out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
But so he wants to get this shit done and sweep. And there's a guy behind him sweeping up the shit, putting in a giant
Peeking on his meth high.
Yeah,
You don't want that.
fucking going right. So my wife's like, sir, and then he stops his jackhammer, and then my wife's like, we have to get the birds out. Please stop. It's giving him a seizure. And the guy's like, birds?
Yeah, because that's a fucking weird thing to say.
Oh, yeah?
And then so he stopped, and then we go in there, and then so now we have to lift up the cages, right? But the problem is the birds will bite your fingers if you stick your fingers in the cage.
Wow.
And the only way to lift the cage is to put our fingers inside the cage.
You need gloves. You need bird gloves.
Where's your claw gloves?
Yeah, where's your claw gloves?
My wife handed me oven mitts where she's like, put these mitts on
No.
so
If my wife hands
Bubba
me-
doesn't bite your
If
fingerprints
my
off.
wife ever hands me oven mitts to carry a bird cage, I just hand them right back to her and I walk out of the house.
So,
not my job.
Two things I want to bitch about real quick. One being, why are bird cages so goddamn heavy? Why are
Birds
they
are
made?
strong, dude.
Why are they made out of steel? Like
Birds are strong.
Yeah, they'll bite right
Oh, did Kevin think?
through. He's done talking. You weren't letting him talk.
I'm
He thought
sorry.
you were going to talk about his show.
I am. I'm sorry.
Real quick, let me tell you about my birds, Kevin.
Yeah, you went right into bird story. We didn't even talk to Kevin about what he's doing or anything.
Sorry, I get carried
Remember
away.
that unintentional dickhead thing?
Is that it? That was
Yeah.
it? God damn it! I don't even know. I swear. I was about to go in and I got
You're
carried
wasting
away.
Kevin's time.
Just get to the good part.
In my mind, it was a quick story, and then I was like, "Oh, this part."
He's
It's
calling
so
back
fucking
right now,
ADD.
Dan, if you want to grab him.
I'm sorry. I was about to end.
Line 1, he's calling. He's still there.
Kevin, can you hear us?
This is why I'm no longer in broadcast.
Sorry, Kevin.
He won't shut the hell up,
No,
right?
I realized we started talking to you, and then I'm telling you this long story, and I apologize.
I was talking the whole time. I was like, who expected these birds to be reasonable?
I don't know.
They got small heads, man.
I know, and the cages, I was just bitching about how heavy they are, and they're filled with bells and bric-a-brac and hanging ropes and water
Little pieces
dishes.
of wood and
Yeah, the wood, like stuff that they play with, and it's like carrying like a Indian bazaar's cart at the corner of the road.
There is psychology to it because you are carrying something that's immense, but inside of it there is nothing. You know what I mean? Like you're just carrying a giant, heavy nothing.
So as soon as we get out the hallway of the room, because it's in the back room or whatever, the guy immediately starts jackhammering again.
Well, you had a minute.
Yeah. And all the construction workers are looking at us like we're crazy as we try to take these bird cages out.
In their defense, we look at every bird person as if they're crazy.
They straight up holding the cage, like I said, it's heavy as hell, and the bird is just eye to eye with me, waiting to bite the tip of my nose off.
Did you get them all over there? Do they fit? How do you get the cage through your door?
It's just if you have to unscrew the sticks coming off the sides.
Never
Once you
unscrew the sticks.
once you
That'll piss
unscrew
off the
sticks,
birds.
then you get it through. But now they're in my house, and I was told that they only scream in the mornings and at sundown. and when you ignore them, which I was like, well, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
They only scream doing the thing I want to do.
All time.
Can't you put I thought there was a trick, and Kevin, you might have done this with your bird. Isn't there a trick where you can just throw a sheet over it?
I heard that too.
And then the bird thinks it's like nighttime, they go to sleep. So just throw a sheet on it, and 3 weeks later, take the sheet off.
Well, you can't do that like all day and all night though. But yeah, the bird will go crazy. Like, why do people even get birds? It has to be because for them to talk, right? Like, what's the benefit of a non-talking bird?
That's what I
don't
said.
know.
But they show emotion. I mean, like, I don't want to yuck on everybody's yum because, look, I like a lot of stuff that I know people hate. But, like, the bird thing, and Tom brought this up, it's like they don't seem like there's any quality. Well, I haven't mated with one, right? Isn't that what they do? They bond or mate with a human, and then they become, like, affectionate, right?
Yeah. And they're smart. They learn how to talk. By the way, but they're not talking. They're just mimicking sound. And, and the whole time I'm carrying this bird
They're not
cage.
doing a back and forth conversation.
Yeah.
Did you see the video? He talks to him.
Oh, yeah.
Bubba.
Hello, Bubba.
Yeah, it says, hello, Bubba. And then my wife's like,
that's fun.
it's saying hello. Say it hello back.
You're being rude. You're being an unintentional dickhead to the bird, you dickhead.
And I'm
This
like,
is insanity.
it does. That's what I'm saying. It is insanity.
Now you see it. She gets it now.
Anyway,
insanity.
Sexual insanity.
The birds are weird, and they started. Believe me, we put the cover over them at night because they'll sleep with that. But right at dusk, dawn, they'll start talking, and then
Can you make
your boys like to sleep in. They're gonna be mad.
But it's not like a dog, right? Like a dog, you can tell a dog to shut the fuck up, and it'll be all right.
No,
like birds, you can't yell at a bird and make it quiet, right? Like I can intimidate a cat or a dog. The good thing about cats and dogs is I can get over them and scream at them like horrible mental to the point. Like
they'll cower.
Yeah, I can back a dog into a corner and a puppy, anything, and scream at it so loud and so like crazy that it will retreat, it'll quiet down, whatever. Bird doesn't work, right?
No, birds have no fear. They'll fly right into a fan. You don't care. So, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk what
About
happened.
you.
Yeah. Sorry, I apologize. Enough birds.
That's all good, man. Birds are complicated.
So let's talk about Tampa radio. And I did, like, you know how time just keeps on ticking, right? That
God damn it.
So it just, you don't realize, like, all of a sudden I heard the news, like, Kevin got let go from the bone, and I was like, God damn it. I was like, fucking radio again.
The first thing I thought of is that they need to keep naming radio stations after weird items like bones and frogs and roosters. We need more of that. That was the first thing I thought of. More crows, more roosters, more frogs, more bones.
So, and then I found out how long you did that show. I was like, what? I was like, holy shit, it's been that long? Yeah. How long was it again?
It was about 5 years that I did. But I was at the Bone. Well, I was at the Bone for about 5 years, and I was with Drew. Well, look, check this out. So in the 5 years, I was with Burke, then I was with Drew, and then I had my own show for about 3 years.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so, but here's the thing. It's just, it was just kind of more of the same. Like when you say, oh, when I heard the news, you got let go. Well, everybody's going to get let go at some point.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I had become a specialist at doing off-peak hour radio.
Yeah.
If you're not in a main day part, what are you really doing?
That a lot of people don't understand that how much the actual time because especially it's weird in a
like
world
all of it.
Like when, if we explain this to the younger generation, they're going to be like, what? Because we're like an in demand or on demand society, so it's like you can listen to anything you want whenever you want. What do you mean
time slot? That doesn't
But it's like in radio they live by that. Like the morning drive and afternoon drive are the money time slots, and then night radio is considered almost like a afterthought or whatever. It's kind of always been that way, right?
Yeah. So the money's in the mornings, of course, and then the money's in the afternoon. In the midday, look, if you can't be number one in the midday, you shouldn't be on radio. And nighttime should be for like the up and comers.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
It was kind of a way that a long time ago they used to give overnights as a way to cut your teeth in radio. Now they don't even do that anymore.
You can be a little more wild, maybe a little crazier, but it's fun. I like the nighttime. I like the vibe of it, but it's hard.
It gives you the most freedom. It's hard because it is an afterthought. And at the end of the day, when it comes time to cut something, that's what they're going to cut first. Doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter what your ratings are. And I'll be honest with y'all. For me, well, maybe I shouldn't answer a question before y'all ask it. But for me, it was the second time I've gotten cut from a nighttime slot when my ratings were good.
Yeah.
That's got to be frustrating because it's like, well, what else do you want?
This is
my only job to get you good ratings, and I do that, and it just shows up. That's what makes me so irritated with working for a corporation, because so many times I come back to the conclusion that nothing matters, and it's all just willy-nilly and to discretion of your manager or some guy who doesn't even know you, or budget cuts, and it's like, well, what the fuck does it matter then? It's like,
Here's the thing, and you guys did radio more than long enough to know, like, y'all drink a lot of that Kool-Aid. We all drank a lot of that radio Kool-Aid because we were in love with radio. Yeah. At the time we were in love with radio, Daniel, podcasts weren't viable.
No.
It was just something that you might have read about that they were doing in some, it was something people were experimenting with.
100%.
Nobody thought, I could just make a living by myself. If so, we would all did this shit 20 years ago.
True.
Like, if that was the move. I had drank enough radio Kool-Aid not to think that shit was going to get better, not to think that I was going to grow into something, but to be honest, where I was in my life, I was just trying to maintain.
Sure, I get that.
I was trying to get back to a baseline of zero, of a boring Kevin life after a series of unfortunate events that started when I lost SBK Live, and then after that, the whole kidney drama. I was just trying to get back to normal, and then the COVID hit, all of that kind of shit. But to say, I should have done a podcast when I left Real Radio, when I left the morning show, that's when I should have jumped into the podcast game. However, I didn't have a concept of how I would do that alone.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's important. Like, if it didn't feel comfortable, if you didn't have, and you and I talked about this before, and in a lot of ways, I think I'm very blessed and lucky to have somebody like Tom to bounce off of. When because it is, and vice versa. It does make the.
Well, I couldn't have done it. I mean, I literally am not even. I cannot do it without Daniel. I could not record anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't be funny. This just doesn't work out. So, like, the fact that me and Daniel have things that we're both good at, and
passions too, like things that we enjoy. Like, you enjoy the business aspect of this. Like, I don't want that, nor am I good at that. God forbid I have to ever do it. It'll kill this company. So if Tom's gone and you guys are expecting your checks, that just won't happen. I'm keeping all the money.
And I always say that, like, okay, for not somebody who just consumes your content and likes you guys as entertainers, I always looked at it as somebody in the business, and when they say, hey, Tom and Dan, I would say to myself, the best thing about Tom and Dan is that Tom has Dan, and Dan has Tom.
Yeah,
that's the hardest thing. Both of them are talented individually, but the fact that they have each other. And what that means, translation, you got two people who are willing to give 100%. That's hard to find.
Yeah.
Like, his energy is matching your energy, and you guys are on the same page for a long time, and that's the beautiful part of it, man. But to be honest, I wasn't in that situation because as much as I love doing my own thing, which is what I'm having to embrace right now, man, at the time I left the Monsters, Angel had just got hired on to the Monsters, and at the time I think they hired him on to make me feel more comfortable, which it made me feel worse. It's kind of like if I had a prison sentence of being on the Monsters, which is what it felt like to me. Like, all right, you're sentenced to be on the Monsters. What would make you feel better? Oh, bring your partner in jail with you. No, that's not gonna make me feel better. Like, man, I thought, when Dan left, I thought I was gonna get all that Dan money. Then when Tom left, I thought I was gonna get all that Tom money. I got less money.
Yeah. A lot of
they
people
were trying to give me Dan's money. I should have took it.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand that they try to reabsorb everything. You know, that happened to me with Jeff Howe.
Yeah.
Like when Jeff went back to, he said, I can't do this because of my sleep. I thought, like, I'm going to get a pay bump because I took money out of my own salary to bring him on. No, they just reabsorbed it.
So, Kevin, I'm curious because in Tampa, you're doing your show, and I want to talk about when COVID hit. Obviously, everybody in radio started doing it from their house, right? And then that a lot of that has stayed that way. But because of your kidney and COVID, and your doctor saying that you should not be exposed to COVID, and doing it from your house was actually the way you wanted to keep doing it, right?
Yes and no. I always wanted to. Even, years ago, I've always wanted the ability to broadcast from home and have the freedom. Hey, let's do the whole show from my house. Let's do it. That was the dream. That's a lot of broadcasters' dream.
Sure.
Yeah.
To have your own studio, do things the way you want to do them. However, like the COVID thing, it became, I was the first one trying to get out of that studio. I was trying to get out of that studio before they had even said there was a case in Tampa.
Gotcha.
I was trying to get out. My doctor told me, he goes, look, he put both of his hands on my shoulder. He said, listen, Kevin, I need you to listen to me. He says, I don't like your chances if you catch it. Now, that was just a hunch for him at the time with his experience. That turned out to be the truth. The people that was dying from this shit were people who were unvaccinated and people that were immunocompromised. That's me. I'm immunocompromised. He says, I don't like your chances. So I knew right then a couple of things. I knew the day I walked out of that studio, I was never coming back. I knew it. Like, it was not even a thought. I just knew that I was going to never come. I had made a decision. I'm never coming back. I knew people wasn't going to act right. I knew there was going to be a fight about the vaccine once we got it. I kind of knew all of that shit was going to happen, and I had to embrace what I had already embraced, that I needed to put myself first, and I was going to ride it out. I'm like, how long are they going to let me broadcast from home? All of my co-hosts is back in the studio. My producer's back in the studio. Dude, I did a show every night. I left March 14th of 2020. And I did it until September 30th of 2021. And then the bulk of that year, January of 2021, I moved back to Tallahassee because my dad had some health issues.
Yeah.
I knew then I wasn't going back. Like, there's no way you're going to bring me back in this studio. And everybody was catching it left and right, and I'm asking questions like, what's the air quality like? Will y'all put a window in the studio? That kind of thing. Yeah.
Did they want you to come back? Was it pressure to hey, you should come back in studio? Because to me, it's like, as long as it's working, who cares? What do they care? It's like if your ratings are fine and they're not hearing any bad feedback. Which, by the way, Kevin, can we talk about the ratings? Because I know I always bitch. People are tired of hearing it, but it's hard. It's when you have a system that's so flawed and based on such bullshit,
inaccuracies.
Where one particular monitor has so much weight, where it's like, if one person loses monitor, then all of a sudden your ratings go from great to zero. I'm like, well, how is that? How does that measure anything realistic? So you're saying if one person randomly loses a monitor, all of a sudden I have horrible ratings?
I always look at it backwards.
It's not real then, right?
I always look at it backwards like this. Which one of those monitors represents what I listen to? Have you ever heard anybody say our ratings are up? I don't know who had the monitor that represents me,
dude.
I don't know.
I mean, this is public knowledge, but Bubba the Love Sponge got a hold of 4 monitors and made himself number one by putting them on watchwinders in his shit shack.
Put it in his shit shack. Yeah.
Which, by the way,
he was cash apping people. You got a monitor, cash apping.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not hating the guy for working the system. The system sucks.
But if you are able to manipulate and make yourself number one from putting 4 monitors on watchwinders in a shit shack, something's broken. This is not accurate.
Well, my thing is, man, how lucky are you to find 4 monitors? Like, I could see why somebody would want to try to. You know how hard it is. You see people. I love the show. You know people that listen to every single show from beginning to end. Those motherfuckers will never get a monitor.
Yeah,
never ever. But the people who don't give a shit about it, you'll be at a bar and they'll throw it out on the counter like, "Hey, I got a monitor." You're like, "What?" You want to punch them in the face and take it. But I'll tell you this. I'll get down with you 100% on how ratings are bullshit. It's more about impact. It's more about your audience and how, not the size of it, really how active they are. Sure. You know what I mean?
Engagement.
Like perfect engagement. It matters more than anything else. I'll give you a perfect example of that. But I just want to say this about ratings. All that shit you're talking about ratings is true unless you're number one. Now,
right.
if you're number one in the ratings, then you better believe all that shit. I'm gonna tell you that shit is right.
Yeah.
But if I'm not number one. No, seriously, because that's how they're going to do you. Or here's the other trick. You get number one, and then they tell you your number one ain't about shit. Then they the company starts telling you how flawed the monitor system is.
What? They pick and choose whatever narrative they need.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Kevin.
Right,
that's why I get so angry. It's like, your ratings were good, and if you're like, all right, well, that's what this business is based on, I'm doing what you tell me to do.
And then
it goes back to your old saying, nothing matters. Right?
That's why I get so angry. I'm like, nothing matters.
Can I tell you, for me, it's the ego thing. It's being told, hey, by the way, we looked at the numbers. You've been number one throughout the pandemic. And you're like, what? I have? Why didn't you tell me? You're like, what? Tell me something.
Really
goddamn. Ratings are crazy. Well, I've been number one for a year. It's up and down. It's not a year. Goddamn, that's just about as steady as it gets in radio. Is a year. And you go, well, okay, But I'll tell you this, when it comes to impact, like you were saying, one time Chris Campmeyer told me, he says, let me give you an example about something when it comes to ratings. He says, Kevin, ratings don't mean shit. Look at Bud Hettinger. He goes, he has shit for ratings. He has the lowest ratings of any show on this whole cluster. He goes, however, he has the most active and dedicated audience. They trust him, and if he tells them to do something, we got a new product at this sponsor, they go buy the shit out. He says, if this building burnt down, Bud Hettinger would still be standing. And I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And it's about getting engaged with your fans so much.
Said from one, hold on, Kevin. Said from one old white guy to another old white guy. I like this other old white guy, and he'll never be fired.
I do like the idea.
All right, I bet you do.
I was gonna say,
I bet on the fact that you did.
I like the idea of old white manager talking to another old white guy. Then Kevin said there was like, "You'll never be anything in this business." Talking to Kevin, this guy's got the guns. Talking to Bud. You're right. It's ridiculous. Absolutely insanity.
Yeah, but what about your...
No, well, that's why I always, whenever somebody... Look, first of all, when you tell somebody you got let go and your ratings you were number one in the ratings, it sounds like you're lying.
Yeah.
And I know it sounds like I'm lying. That's why I hate... I understand what other people, I laugh at them because it's like, yeah, I know that feeling. Nobody's going to believe you when you say, yeah, they let me go and I was number one. They go, so why? That doesn't make sense. It would be easier for you to find the money than to create another number one show at night of all. At night has to be emphasized because that's what we're talking about. But I remember, so basically what I'm saying is, the fact that those were my circumstances where I always had my success and made it at night, that proves that numbers don't matter as much. I was able to do something that don't explain the numbers. So I've always felt good about that. I've always felt like, well, man, I've been successful, and I had operations manager in my face telling me I was going to fail as he was giving me the job.
Right.
Like, you're going to fail. Congratulations. You're going to fail. And you're like, damn. And then I remember the day we were in the elevator, and he was like, man, you keep blowing my expectations, man. You want me to suck your dick now or later? And I go, well, I'll suck it now. And say, a little bit for later,
Nights is a tricky day part in that it is. Most of the guys that get it, they look at you because they know you're not going to last. But you're right. It is definitely a feather in your cap to say that you can succeed at night because it's one of the absolute hardest day part because most of the time people aren't in the mood for radio. You got regular primetime TV you're going up against and everything else that happens at the end of the day, dinner and everything else.
People don't even watch regular primetime TV anymore. Think of what you're competing against now. You're competing against parrots on TikTok,
Your cell phone,
You're competing against everything because everything's on demand now. So literally, you're competing against everything at night. Good Lord. My thing is, man, it just so happened that I was never in a situation where I had a program director that could see me as a mainstream host. And they saw me as, well, Kevin's talented. We know that, but we ain't going to put him in middays. Are you fucking crazy? We ain't going to we'll put him let him be, fourth mic on a morning show, or we'll let him, be third mic let him wrestle for third mic on an afternoon show or something like that. But to put their full faith behind me, that never happened. So I didn't bitch about that. I just tried to be successful wherever I was. And that just happened to be at night, where they put me to say, well, look, I make the numbers look good on the books, because when they say, oh, well, you got some diversity here. Yeah, and he's number one. I was number one despite those guys. But at the end of the day, end of the day, when you don't have a plan for what happens when your night show is number one and successful and deserving of a bigger opportunity, that's an even bigger problem for me. I've maxed out what they expect from a night show, because I should be more than a night show. So what do you do with that when you don't have a plan for the guy who you thought was going to fail? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, they do a lot of that, right? It's Band-Aids in every direction, right? We've seen it. Like when you don't know what the future holds for your business and you are putting a guy in a day part, you do in one breath, you hope he props it up. But you don't hope he props it up too much, because then you, like you said, then you do have that problem and you don't know what to do with the guy.
Kevin, it reminds me of one of the funniest radio stories. We've told it a million times, but it involves Tuttle, and it made me think of it when you mentioned Tuttle. There was a time...
He was mentioned on Howard Stern on Wednesday. They had a Bubba the Love Sponge impersonator on Howard. And the guy was doing the voice and doing the McGillicuddy and the gimmicks and doing the whole thing. And he started, I'm talking about Tuttle. And he's doing the whole thing. And just find that episode. Is fucking phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Was he saying Tuttle on purpose?
He's doing it because it's like the shtick. But he was he's just a guy that does impressions. And he does a Bubba the Love Sponge. And he was saying Tuttle like every 5 seconds. I was cracking up. I'm like, Tuttle!
But anyway, there was that time that the management of Clear Channel wanted to... they were going through the new night show was going to be, and they had Tuttle host it, and the idea or the bit was it was going to be so bad that people were going to be dying for whoever, and would be
Tuttle Talk. I remember
Tuttle
that.
Talk, yes. And the theory being we're going to put Tuttle in there, and we're just going to leave him to ramble, and it's going to be him by himself with his own board, and he's going to take calls, and it's going to be so horrible that whoever we get for nights, people are going to be happy about, right?
I forgot about that.
And then he started doing it, and people liked it. And then
they were eating it up.
Yeah, because it was so raw and he didn't care. And then I'm to this day, my buddy the Wizard still said whatever happened to Tuttle Talk? I like Tuttle Talk. And
I had a guy write me a couple.
They got mad at him because people liked it so much. They're like, "You're doing too good." Instead of saying well, maybe this is something. You're right.
Why trying it?
Why not? But they were stuck in their head of what they wanted, and I think that's a lot of it. Anytime you let your own subjectivity dictate what should be whatever's the most popular, I feel like it's going to fail or at least be hindered because you got one person deciding what works or not. I mean, I've been through this with radio before where a higher up was like, I don't think Drunky the Bear is funny. I don't know why anybody thinks he's funny. It's horrible. This happened. Yeah. And then the person joked around about it. And then they openly tell my trainer. I remember when she said you weren't funny, you were horrible. Yeah. But I was like, that's fine. It's subjective. She should think I'm funny and horrible because she's an older woman. That's not her demographic, right? Shouldn't she know, hey, it doesn't matter what I think, whatever the people think.
Memes and slightly political racist jokes.
But it's so that happens a lot.
Didn't she tell you wasn't funny and then told you Billy Crystal was funny?
Yes. She says the most famous comedians in the world can work clean. Look at Billy Crystal.
So, she called
right. Yeah,
one of
Billy Crystal
the most genius comedian in the world.
But the only reason why this shit works, though, is like I said about us drinking the Kool-Aid. So Tuttle, who wants radio more than anybody I've ever seen that wants radio, he goes into a position where he knows they're using him and they know that they want him to suck on purpose. It's almost like marrying a woman who tells you, yes, I would love to marry you. I'm going to cheat on you as soon as we get married. Like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Desperation.
I'll take that's good because at least I'm with her while I'm with her. That's like, at least I'm on the air. And Tuttle would tell you, at least I got my name out there. I'm still going.
Or he'll do this one, too, which is another one of my favorites. Where like, well, what do you expect me to do? Like that one? And I'm like, I have no answer for that.
Kevin, you think that equity that they've always had in like terrestrial radio where like, hey, we're the gatekeepers to airtime or we're the gatekeepers to getting your voice heard? Because that's, we started, and I'm talking about all of us here, started, except for Butler, started at a time where the only way to get your voice heard or to get any notoriety was to be on the radio, and social media was just at the very cusp of starting, but that wasn't getting yourself out there.
It wasn't as important as it obviously is now.
And now you can get yourself out there more by having a more popular social media than you ever could being on the radio. So do you think that I guess equity that they held there is not going to exist in the future, where it's not going to bring more talent looking to get on the radio, because if they're talented, they can get on social media and have a broader influence.
And more importantly, you can start your content providing experience or career being yourself out of the gate.
Yeah.
You don't have to come in and there's some fat guy that wants you to act this way and give you a stupid name that you got to try to out. And then they set you up and position you and pigeonhole you, and then you have to grow out of that to show what your real talent is or to show what you really can offer. You get to be you from the jump. That, to me, that's more valuable than anything. More than, like, okay, so I've only done 3 episodes of my new podcast, right? Here's the thing about it. The first 3 episodes have nothing to do with what I want to do as a podcaster. There's just, as being in radio for 20 years, there's so much shit I just have to get out before I can go breathe and then go, okay, now here's the content. Okay, Dave Chappelle said something about trannies. Okay, let's talk about that. Like, I haven't even gotten to topical stuff or stuff that's going on in as most of the stuff going on in my life and me dancing around what I can't say. Like, I can't really say a lot of what I really want to say about my radio experience. But the thing is, I'm not bitter. I'm just, I got to a situation where I had circumstances that I was expecting the world to understand, and I realized the world wasn't going to understand my circumstances, so I had to find out, it doesn't have anything to do with talent or a desire or having an audience or anything. I just had to decide how I was going to survive. I had to figure out how I was going to survive. And if I had a radio career, cool. If I didn't, fine. I'm an only child. And, when my mom called me and she was like, we need you at home. These things are happening.
Yeah.
I can't handle them. Man, I had to go.
Yeah. Oh,
and I have to figure out, if I would have had a morning show, I would have had to go. Like, if I would have been making all kind of money, I would have had to go because there's no one else to make it happen. So I'm still. It's been the weirdest 5 years.
Yeah.
6 years of my life. It's been the weirdest. Yeah.
But your priorities are right. I use you as inspiration. I listen to all 3 of the. I love your show, by the way. It's awesome. It's awesome to have something I can go to a lot, because I remember for a while when you were on the Bone, they didn't even have a companion or an app that I could listen to your show. But now I can listen to your podcast. And one of the things that you hit on in all 3 episodes that I think is super important, and everybody should do this, is just I like that your priorities are so screwed on straight when it comes to your family and when it comes to the important things that happen. All too often with what Tom and I do, and even owning this own business, I get my priorities fucked royally about what's important, what I need.
How so?
Well, I don't put sometimes there are times when I don't, where I'm not always thinking family first. And whenever I do put my family first, whenever that's the first thing I think of, everything goes better. Everything, because that's what's right. That's
okay. That is what's right also, but when do you put yourself first?
I'm doing that now, but I didn't until a little while ago. You know what I mean? It's like that's a new thing for me.
Right. What I fear is, you get the priorities right, where only child, you have to go help your family. Mm-hmm. There's also another part of that people can't see. you lose yourself in that too. Whenever you put other people first, you can lose yourself. And I think I touched on in the last episode, I may be getting to the point, I don't want to get to the point where I lose myself so much that I can't recover.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
Like, I don't know if I'll be, if I don't know if I'm in a position to, well, that's why I'm single. I'm single, and I'm not going to say by choice. I'm single by circumstance, because at any moment, anybody that I'm trying to get close to, I might have to drop off the face of the earth and disappear because there's an emergency situation, and I'm back to this, and that's my priority. And it's a weird thing still being, man, I didn't even really get to enjoy being single yet since me and my ex broke up. And that's been like 4 years ago. Like, I haven't even been able to enjoy that because the pandemic hit.
Yes.
Good luck trying to get to know a woman, and you get to the point where you're conversating with her, and you want to meet up, you want to have something simple, dinner, coffee, or whatever, go inside somewhere, and you tell her, hey, I'm really not comfortable. Translation, I'm afraid to go into this restaurant and eat without a mask on.
Yeah.
Like, and then you go, I'm not willing to. And then you got girls that will tell you, well, if you're scared to come get this pussy, then I get somebody else. You're like, what?
Well, that's...
I love the idea of a woman going, you afraid of corona where you ain't going to get this sweet-ass pussy. Like, I like that.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. No, but what I'm saying is that does turn me on when they go, you scared of this? I'm like, no, I love that pussy. But, I've been wearing, I wear a condom for my face now. So
yeah, it is weird. Yeah, absolutely. And you can't be taking any chances, man. You got a kidney, like that's important shit.
You do one or two things, and this is what I've been doing. You either, because you're still a man and you have erections, right?
What?
No, seriously, let's be honest here. You have erections, quality boners, right? And I believe that they're numbered. Like, I believe the good Lord gives you so many in your life. And every time I get an erection,
that's Phillips. That's Jim Phillips. Yeah. I've been saying this on the show. Phillips.
Well, go ahead.
Jim Phillips has been saying for years that I heard it going over the Bridge of Lions, going to St. Augustine one day. He talked about how you have a finite number of erections you get.
Wasn't it ejaculations, not just
no,
erections?
He said erections, and one day you'll go to get one, and there's nothing left. You're all out.
I thought it was orgasms, but yeah, I could be wrong.
I think it's erections.
It was one of the two.
I'll take an erection without orgasm, but just let me have the erection. Yeah. But the thing is, you think about if you're wasting them, or you're like, man, what am I doing? Look at this thing here. This is amazing for somebody.
Yeah.
but you know that you're not going to. So you chat along enough.
Hold on. This is where we differ, and I could tell by your microphone. I've never looked at my erection and said this will be amazing for someone.
No, you never know.
This is never an amazing experience. It's an experience.
You don't want to see what I do.
You guys been married too long. Listen, Tom. There is a community of women online, and this is what the internet is good for: finding niches. There is a pocket on the internet where men with smaller than average penis sizes are thriving.
Yeah. Thriving?
I didn't say that. I said average.
A fucking adjective to throw. Thriving?
Thrivingthrobbers.com.
Thriving Throbbers.
Hold on.
Throbbing and thriving.
Write that down. That's the name of the show. Thriving and Throbbing with SBK.
Yes.
Why? Yes. Hold on. Like, from people that want or like searching that out?
There are women that prefer a smaller penis.
Yeah, it's almost a kink kind of thing. Yeah.
No, my wife don't. I think I can look at my wife if she wants a blurred tip big one.
Look, there are women straight up into micro penises.
It's got to be
what?
Yeah.
Why?
She wants the big one. I know my wife wants the big one because I looked at her last night. I swear to God, I put it in my wife last night and I couldn't come because of my new crazy pills I'm on. But I was pumping her good, right? And I'm looking in her face, and you know what she looked like? She looked like she reading a magazine. Like, it was like I'm like, I was going.
Yeah.
And she like,
man, you need to get a penis sleeve.
I might.
I've heard about. I see it. Man, Fairvilla
got
sells
'em, yeah.
those.
I'm getting overalls this week. I'm gonna get overalls and a penis sleeve.
All right.
That's what I'm getting.
That's all you need.
We got to take a break.
Yeah, we got Ross coming up
We
in
got
like
Ross coming
3
up. I don't
minutes.
want.
like
I've already pushed him back once.
I know.
with the penis sleeve. I feel like it's cheating in one aspect.
Cheating.
I
feel like, hold on, guys. Stop the presses. This penis sleeve thing is cheating.
And it's also you're fully admitting if your wife likes it that you are inadequate.
Wait,
right?
is there hey, Kevin, is there a sleeve on the top? Because I don't want to put the sleeve on, and I don't want my dick to go from wide and then tiny little head.
What? It's like airbrushing abs on my Duke belly, and then my wife be like, "Ooh, that's like, well, like that. This is not real." You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
wait,
Like,
can the sleeve fall off while I'm pumping her with the sleeve?
It can happen.
No, it's snug, brother. It's snug, and you can get it with different kind of, spikes and
Yeah,
bumps and ridges.
nubbies and spikes and ribs.
I want mine to look like a
for
rosy.
hopeless.
I want mine to look like a rosy koosh
I'm
ball.
gonna accessorize my dick.
yeah, but
You
no,
need to bedazzle your dick.
yeah, but once you start the spikes, then you
can't stop.
Yeah, you can't stop.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's like, where's the spikes?
She's like, oh, hold on, it
Right.
feels different out there. It's smooth. I was like, let me get my spikes.
What do you care? What do you care?
Exactly.
well,
Well,
now
you're
I
not
gotta
the one
get
that
the
has to look in the
sleeve.
mirror while you're taking off a purple alien sleeve off your cock. You're looking in the mirror.
Man.
My daughter
Hold
catches
on,
me.
it's the equivalent. Hold on, I will make the argument. It's the equivalent to having some sort of insert that makes your wife's pussy smaller.
Whoa.
Do they make that?
Listen, it-
the
Well, yeah, because then you're like,
Hold
I
on,
like this
goddamn.
instead.
I want.
And then
What is that? What is that? Put a jelly sandwich in there. What?
let me tell you, that's one thing that we don't speak on enough as men. You know, we never touch that situation of the large vagina.
No. You never talk about it.
Sometimes that's the real problem, as opposed to the size of the penis. It's a little bit too big.
Yeah, you can't
and a lot
say
of these
that.
women, they don't do their job, and they don't work on the grippers.
You got to work on the grippers, the lips that grip. He's right. I've talked about this. Like when my wife sits on me and I'm looking at her back, I got to see those lips gripping it. If the lips aren't gripping it, I know she's slipping on the Kegel.
Like when they sneeze and it happens, I'm like, wait, do that.
Well, my wife will
Oh
be.
my God, what is happening?
Like my wife,
Well, what happened?
my wife will laugh or she'll sneeze and she'll be like, "I peed a little," and I'm like, "Is that good or bad?"
That's
For me.
good.
For
but
me.
But you don't want a woman that's too. The flip side of that, a woman that has the grippers that are too tight.
Zipper grippers.
It could either pull the rubber off, or it can eject you. Right.
Yeah, that happens.
You can't get to it because she's playing a game with you. It's like she's closing it down, and you can't even get to the thing.
Yeah, I know that. I just
And
lay.
you have-
I just lay it on the
Right.
stomach. I put my hand on the top of it. And I just do it myself.
Yeah, that's called the Miagi.
But then
The
you almost have a
Mike
stroke. Then you almost have a stroke because you got to increase your viscosity. You know, you got to try to keep it going, and it's hard to do sometimes.
I haven't
Man,
been
it's tough,
drinking
man.
enough
It's tough.
water because last night, man, when it came out, I swear to God, it came out like a tiny little milk jug.
Come on, Kevin.
Well, yes.
Sorry, we got to talk to our news guy Ross, and
He knows wrong.
Yeah, he knows it, Ross.
well, I don't know.
Kevin's not a new guy.
I know,
I
Ross.
got Ross. You want to put him on?
Oh yeah.
All together.
Yeah, put it, well, Kevin could just hang out.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'll hang out.
Yeah, hang out. Here's Ross. Yay, Ross.
What's going on, Ross?
Oh, you look good, man. Young Ross. All right.
Extra
Do we
smooth
want to
face.
hit the thing? We got Kevin on the line. We didn't even take a break, Ross. We're still in the,
That's fine.
We're
We'll
just
just-
rolling. Let's roll into it. Should we roll into it?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
Kevin.
Let's
hold on.
roll.
Hold
do
on.
it.
Let's roll.
Yeah, go pee. That's fine. We're doing it. I'm doing it live. Here we go. I'm just gonna. Here we go.
Shit news.
Ross's News brought to you by Tots with Ross, the Orlando talk show with Ross McCoy. You could find it anywhere where podcasts are found.
You might be able to watch a live taping
Yes.
of said podcast, I believe, Saturday night, Ross. Is that correct?
That is correct. Saturday night at Austin's Coffee after shit sandwich at the Bull and Bush. We're going to buzz right over to Austin's Coffee on Fairbanks. You might know it as being near one of the most famous sinkholes in Orlando. And we're going to do a live podcast taping. We got Marcus Crespo, Carmen Morales, and a friend of the show, Sareth Nay, is going to be all all interviewed live. I think pretty much live to the Facebook group is what we're going to do for this thing.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you want to check that out, you can hit up both, and then when he leaves Shit Sandwich, you can head on over.
Hey, Ross, we got Kevin on the line, SBK, just to let you know.
Boom, mate.
Hey, what's up, Ross, man? I'm sorry I didn't return your email.
What's up, SBK? Now, you're a busy guy. I understand.
See, Kevin is like me, and I totally get it, where we don't often answer back texts. Kevin, do people get mad at me all the time for not texting them back? Do you get that a lot?
Yes, but I have to interact with people now because trying to get this podcast going.
That's true. It does force you out of the nest a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
True. Yeah,
it makes you do what you're supposed to be doing, you know.
Yeah, no, I feel you too, because there are times when I just want to let everything stop. Like, I want every battery,
Daniel wants to live under a bridge, 100%. It's his dream.
Me too.
Yeah,
I do.
Just drop me off a sandwich every now and then.
I did see a graphic for the release of episode 2 of SBK's new podcast, and I was like, oh shit, I should hit him up again.
Hey, yo, I'm actually, while you're talking, I am answering your old email right now.
Yeah. So we're getting things done here. All right, Ross, what do you got today, man?
All right, this is a carryover story from last time I did news. I forgot about it, but I really want to tell you guys something because it's near and dear to my heart. I don't know if you guys have this thing where you have a favorite song where they swear on the radio.
Mine
is buried in my shit. You know, they come to snuff the rooster, but I'm buried in my shit. You know?
Like Alice in Chains. Alice in Chains is an excellent example of a band that didn't use a ton of curse words, but their big hits usually had one. Yeah, that's.
And it would sneak through on the radio. Yeah. Okay, so I had a friend making a case for "Come On, Feel the Noise" because they spell it like "come," not normal way. And then I said, well, I think the Rolling Stones have that beat and Start Me Up because I had a crew chief back in the day who was super into the Rolling Stones. And one time he bet me, he's like, in that song, Start Me Up, they say, she'll make a dead man come, right? And I was like, there's no fucking way. I've heard that on the radio a million fucking times. There's no way that's in there. And that's fucking in there.
It's in there, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an old biker thing, right?
Yeah. They bikers and biker songs. They'd slip things in there. I remember the first time I realized Easy Rider had titties in it. You know what I mean? Like bikers like to sneak things in there. I'm going through Easy Rider, motorcycle, lady with her titties out sitting on motorcycle, and it was just they didn't mention it, but it's in there, and I think it's still in there.
I think it's cool if it sounds right. It's got a flow.
Yeah.
One day I was talking about Start Me Up, but I got confused and I Googled the lyrics to Brown Sugar by the Rolling Stones. And that's like a poppy peppy song from what I remember from classic rock radio. If you read the lyrics to that, the first 2 verses are about a slave master raping slaves.
Didn't some story came out about this recently?
This did come in like a couple weeks ago. Somebody was talking about
3 weeks ago. Yeah. I dropped the ball a couple weeks ago. I had it and I fucking forgot about it in the press of the other news. But the Rolling Stones dropped Brown Sugar from their tour set list, which they've been playing it for I don't know, a million years now, since the Cretaceous period or something. They dropped it and they were asked about it, and I forget who it was that was Keith Richards was like, yeah, we dropped it. I don't get it, but we dropped it. He made a big case for his thing was, don't they understand it's about the horrors of slavery? I don't know, man. I didn't fucking get that until when you read it, you don't even you just hear it on the radio and you're just humming along and snapping to it. It's a peppy song, you know? I disagree. Hard disagree on that point, Keith Richards, but they did remove it from their set list.
Yeah.
Remind me if I'm still doing this when I'm a real dumb old man, that anything that I'm still doing that people are like, you shouldn't do that anymore. But you know what I'm saying? And then remind me to just say,
I just did that in the office earlier today.
Remind me. And just remind me just to move on. Okay. Because the dumb old men end up doubling down. I'm like, wait a minute. And trying to fight.
That in the office.
I know. I'm telling you. Just tell me when I'm doing it. And you're like, you're doing the dumb old man thing.
Okay, I'll say
Just
that.
move on, and then I'll be like, touche. On to the next thing, because fighting about it just never looks good. It's like, why argue the point?
It's
Just move
never
on.
a good
Who
look.
cares? You got a million songs.
And don't
Yeah.
do this
You
one
don't
either.
don't even care.
And don't do this one either. Don't do the one where you're like, I'll think about it. No, just say okay.
Yeah.
Just say okay.
Yeah, like, how much do you really love it?
No,
No one really loves
Just
it.
move on to one of your other 50 hits. You're fine.
It's like every time someone says, like, you can't say that word anymore, it's not appropriate in society. And then I'm like, all right, move on.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
move
that
on.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just invent new words like grunch. That's a great word.
Yeah.
Grunch.
You made a pretty strong case for Mitch Patel at the time, Tom.
I believe he was pro F-word mouse. Yeah,
I was trying to diffuse an awkward situation.
He has a shirt that says "I like F-word mouses."
Just know I never care about anything, but at the time I'm trying to get out of an awkward situation, and that's it. I'm trying to say I see a side because if we double down, I'm like, oh God, it's gonna be
And
awkward.
Ross, you've known me long enough to know my move. My move is just to look at my computer. I'm like, nope, not doing this, and I just look at my computer.
And that was an intention thing. Anyway.
Doing it.
You know what?
Just say
Move
okay.
on.
Just say
Move
okay.
on.
Just say okay. Okay.
But you know what I'm thinking.
Okay.
We know.
Next story, Roz.
All right, next story. This one's a little bit near and dear to my heart because I've been dealing with a lot of contractors lately. Quick story. I got in a fight yesterday. A guy spit on my shoe.
And you spit on a tomb? Is that what
just happened?
I said a guy spit on my shoe.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
That's old school.
What are we in the Old West?
Yeah. Old West rules. In some parts of, Duval County to this very day, Tom, that's fighting work. But this guy was we were talking in my yard, and he was spitting tobacco all over my yard. And he had this move where he would, like, take 2 hard steps toward me and then spit, like, kind of in a random direction. It could be toward me, away from me. It really didn't matter. One point, I had an open cup of water, and he spit across the top of it.
Oh, no.
I just poured it out, and I moved on. I didn't care. But then he did like a kind of a water sprinkler move. He did like a multi-spit, and a bit of it got on my shoe.
Oh, no.
And I didn't say, hey, motherfucker, you spit on my shoe. I just said, hey, take 2 steps back and watch where you spit. That's what I said, and he got real salty. He was mad.
No, I thought you were okay with it.
You gave him a few passes.
If you get spit on your shoe, I think, hey, take a couple steps back and watch your spitting. It's completely
And
acceptable.
tobacco spit. That's
It's completely acceptable. You handled yourself well.
I don't know why it makes me laugh so much. But
I know what I would say. I'd say, what the fuck are you doing? Then I'd get beat up.
The fact that he tried to spit long jump over your water is as funny to me as the time someone blew vape smoke in your burger. That made me laugh.
I forgot about that.
The vape smoke in your burger and then spitting over your
Hey,
water.
SBK.
People still have COVID right now. People are just
I
spitting
gotta
on
get
people.
Kevin's take on this. Kevin, at the time, we didn't realize we were witnessing one of the most disgusting things in the world, but we witnessed a grown man take a huge mega draw out of one of those huge AC Delco battery vape rigs and then poof a mega amount of water vapor over Ross's hamburger.
And dude, like it touched his hamburger.
And it went into the hamburger, then it just came out the bun.
Permeated.
Yeah, my hamburger became character at Halloween Horror Nights trying to scare you on a bridge.
This is like a stranger sitting next to you, or is this some guy you know?
No, guy I knew sitting next to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have had to check. Like I would have slapped him while his lips were still tooted.
It shouldn't be gross, but it's
so
fucking real gross.
No, that's his breath. That's his breath.
That's
You can see it
particles.
now.
And it hangs. Like, trust me, I vape enough marijuana to know what it gross about it, and it will hang. There are sometimes I will go to the bathroom, pee, go play a whole game of Madden, walk back into the bathroom, and it's like I'm walking into a haunted house, and I got to change my ways.
Still your breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the dude that's spitting the tobacco on your shoes, hey, he better do it from a distance, because if he had to bend over to do it, I'd have kicked him in the mouth.
Yeah, and don't get Kevin started on the black tooth motherfucker that made his sandwich. Listen to that story in episode 3. That's a good story.
I'm just gonna say I paid $11 for a Subway tuna. A turkey salad. $11.
No.
So,
and I haven't forgotten yet. I'm going back.
Go back.
So, Ross, how awkward? Because I've seen you get into verbal confrontations before with people.
I want Ross to just grab him by the throat.
Which is, it's always awkward for me because it's 100% opposite of whatever I do. Like you
hated it when I did it to Dwayne Schwintz's.
I try to avoid it. So
remember when I told him to get the fuck out of my chair at Wing House?
Was this a contractor that was doing work on your house?
I'll try to keep it vague for what will become obvious reasons, but in terms of stress and conflict level, Tom, I will give this, I'll give it a 10 out of 10, just short of being at war, because it was 3-on-1 against me. Everyone had a contrary point of view to mine, and I had to be very insistent, like 3 times in a row, basically, because they kept the one guy would say the thing, I'd say no, I prefer this, and the other guy would say the thing, I'd say no, I prefer this, and the third guy would say the thing, and I'd say no, I prefer this. That had to keep happening, and it was really at a peak because it did get to a sweary, yelly point a little bit, and it was all guys, so it was nobody was like, oh, how dare you, sir. It was just this is how we're processing this, but it was some of these guys do contract work with my wife from time to time also. So at a certain point, they all were like, hey, let's just call your wife and talk to her instead. And I was like, no, how dare you? I am, this is my thing. I am insisting, you will deal with me.
Yeah.
And at one point we had talked a little bit and I said, all right, let me go. I'm going to take the dog for a walk. You guys talk it out. They had called my wife before I got to the end of the block.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. The contractor world is
strange.
Is rough.
Can be strange.
Yeah, always under chaos.
Was that a dog joke, Tom? Very well done. So back to the news. The reason I bring up contractors, this lady Bangkok, she lives in a high rise. I don't know if you guys have ever lived in a high rise. It's like being in a dorm. You got to put up with a lot of bullshit from a lot of people. And you're supposed to get noticed when they do work. So I'm on this lady's side. They were doing some painting. These guys come and knock on her door. There was no notice. They want to hang a fucking painting rig. I'm sorry. They're painting over a crack or something. They're doing some crack repair, something to the side of the building. They need to hang their rig out of her window. They knock on her door. They come into her apartment. No notice was given. She is angry. She's upset. Maybe she went a little too far when she cut the rope of their painting rig.
Whoa! Did she kill him?
Attempted murder, charges for destruction of property. She says, I did it. I wasn't trying to kill him.
Right.
But I believe her.
Still.
I honestly believe her because some people, I'm not going to put, I guess I could put myself a little bit in this category. I know what it's like to get hot, real hot. And you're blinded by anger, but also if you add in ignorance or a person who's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I think it's completely possible for her to say, yeah, I wanted to cut the ropes to get them out of here, but I didn't connect the two. I didn't think they'd fall to their death. You know what I mean? I think.
Well, they didn't, right? Did they were saved by another safety rope or something?
What I'm assuming, the article doesn't really get into, they were hanging there for an amount of time. Yeah. And I'm assuming it's your standard, Looney Tunes window washing setup with the 2 ropes. She must have got one of them, and they did the standard, Die Hard, half of it fell, and you're hanging from the bottom for a while.
Yeah, you got you.
Also terrifying, though.
That's
the worst. I'd actually rather fall to my death than be hanging there. I've seen the guys on the Orlando. I've seen the guys in Orlando when it's a little windy and they're just going back and forth and they're still cleaning. Oh God, it's crazy.
Also, if I was, go ahead, Kevin.
Well, it's not murder though. I think, I've said this before that I believe that you can cause harm to somebody without being charged with murder. If you owe me a substantial amount of money and I shoot you, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to get your attention so I can get my money.
You'd be a great judge. You're my favorite judge.
Like a manslaughter. Although, if I was on the scaffolding and this crazy lady cut one half of it and I'm hanging, I would be like, "You're going to jail, bitch."
But there's
you try to kill me.
But there's only 2 things that can happen in those scenarios.
I didn't cut both ropes.
Yeah, it's true. But there's only two things that'll happen. Either you will fall to your death, or much like any Mentos commercial, you'll just slide down and a bucket of paint will fall in your hand. And you'll be like, oh, like no big deal.
This building did have awnings. There's a chance he could have hit one and bounced.
That's true. I've always wanted to do that. That's called the Aladdin.
What do we got next, Ross?
All right. We talked about it recently. The Toy Hall of Fame results came back, you guys. Yes. Risk made it in.
Well, you're happy about that one, right? You're a Risk guy.
I like Risk. We recently, not too long ago, we had our first Risk game with my kid's boyfriend, and there was no major fight, so we all kind of that is kind of success.
Risk is Stratego as well. Those were always games that me and my friends would play and always fight. In fact, Risk.
Fuck those minds.
Risk was always the worst one. Well, yes, but Stratego, Risk. I'm trying to think of the other games. We played a lot of Uno, played a lot of Boggle, Trouble with the Papa Magic Bubble. Those are our big games.
Is there like a significant amount of strategy in Risk to the point where if you can get good at it? Okay. Well, I'm just saying
it's a strategy game.
No, but I'm saying a lot of times you roll the dice and it's really more luck
you would
of the
love
draw.
it. As much as you love like overthinking things, Risk is your game.
All right.
I think you and Russ should play and record it because it'll guarantee an argument.
Risk is good for kids too, man. It teaches them a lot about how to think about things as opposed to some of these other games like Tiddlywinks.
Yeah, that's true. My dad played Tiddlywinks with me. We had felt and little coins.
But you're both right. It's fucking. You do need a bunch of strategy because you have to build a huge army to take over the world, basically. But it all does come down to like 1-to-1 roll of the dice, Tom. So like you can mow through a huge army against a tiny little force and just get fucked.
Because of the dice roll.
Exactly.
So there's so more luck than strategy.
Not necessarily, because more often than not, the dice come out on the side of the bigger force. But sometimes you can really ride it out, and it's crazy.
Yeah, you can make good decisions. And Risk is fun. I might revisit it. And now they have some like digital Risk versions that they've changed things a little bit, pumped it up a little bit. You can find it online if you want to play with your boys. I think they'd like it. And it also teaches you geography. So.
It's too long for them. They're like me, too dumb.
I thought you had a family Monopoly game going.
They never went back to it.
Okay.
Never went back to it?
No, yeah. Like we played it 2 nights in a row, and then it was like too much. Like it never ended. It needed to be quick. They're ADD like their old man.
Gotcha.
They just gave up.
All right. Well, maybe they're into one of the other 2 inductees this year. American Girl Doll did make it. They made it in. And round of applause. I think house favorite, make some noise. 2021 Toy Hall of Fame inductee, Sand.
All right.
Yay! Give it up for Sand, everybody.
Yes.
Go ahead, Kevin. You have something to say about Sand?
In the announcement photo, they fucked up because they put a picture of what I consider a separate toy. They put bucket and shovel in the picture. It should have just been a pile of sand.
It's a quintessential beach toy.
They just ended the Hall of Fame. Like, because if your game can't be Sand, you got nothing to go.
But we had to dial this down, Kevin. I don't think you're one of these kids. I mean, you were not a white Kool-Aid mustache trash Florida kid like me and Tom, and both of our dads, because they knew we were dumb. And
white trash.
We're dumb white trash. So our dads would go, what's the easiest and cheapest and longest lasting toy that has, my dad would get me about every couple of years a giant truckload of sand. And that was my birthday gift.
Yeah. I get.
Okay. Well, look, a Kool-Aid mustache. That's just evidence right there. You can't prove that you drank more Kool-Aid than me.
That is true.
Also harder to see the mustache.
Wow.
Science. I'm science. I can't say that. No, God. I knew it.
Yeah.
Who would have known he
got your favorite?
He got canceled because of my
grape or red.
He got canceled
Grape or
because
red.
of grape blue beanie.
Just saying facts. I'm sorry.
All right, Ross, what else you got?
All right, New Zealand, we got a new world record, and these guys just fucking around in their home garden went and grew what is probably about to be confirmed as the world's biggest potato.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought I was the world's biggest potato. Just based on body shape.
You've been surpassed. No, world's previous biggest potato was like 5 kilograms, right? These guys, New Zealand home gardeners. The guy was asked his secret. He's like, I don't know, man. I just fucking throw some straw and manure on my garden. The guy's poking around in his garden. He thinks he's like hit a root or something. He starts digging it out. It's this giant fucking potato. The thing looks monstrous. It looks awful. It looks disgusting, but it is giant. Weighs in at 7.9 kilograms, 17.4 pounds.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, that was the home weigh-in. They took it to like a grocery store, and it weighed in at 7.8 kilograms. So just about 17 pounds-ish. And they're still waiting for Guinness to come and confirm it. Guinness has not commented. As far as they're concerned, the previous record still stands. This guy, these guys were having fun with it. They built a little wagon. They were parading it around town. They named it Doug.
Oh.
Dan got it.
I like it.
But it started to lose a little water weight. It was getting a little dried out. So they froze it. It's in the freezer for now. And once Guinness comes and confirms it and gives them the title, the guy wants to make it into vodka.
I think I would be pumping this thing up, right? I'd be sticking hypodermics in it and being juicing it a little bit. First I think is I juice it a little bit. And the second thing I would do, or the first question I have, Ross, is much like a larger fish or something that I know is near and dear to Kevin's heart, like a crab, is a larger potato going to have an inverse or strange taste? Like,
Yep.
Is it going to be
too big,
too tough? Is it going to taste chalky?
And they also are not sure how long it's been growing, because the part of the garden they dug it out of, they were growing cucumbers and they didn't plant any fucking potatoes.
So
See, I'm always curious because I have a garden. I keep a garden.
Nice.
This is the first time that I haven't had a garden for this length of time, but I always keep something growing, even if it's herbs or something like that.
Yeah.
Man, when I see these big-ass potatoes, these bigger-than-life oranges and tomatoes and stuff, what are they doing?
Yeah, it seems like either random happenstance because
it's usually an old, sad, white British man whose wife has died, and then he grows some like huge cantaloupe or something, and then they send a photographer out to photo him, and he's so goddamn sad. He's standing there just looking at it. And he probably goes home and fucks the shit out of it. He's done something.
I don't give the old British farmer any credit because I'm like, what do? You just sat there, waited. Like, the thing.
This is coming from the guy that spends all his time with plants. What do you do?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't even want credit. I hate him. It's a curse. Please stop him. But when
he has said, "Please stop my plants" before, because I don't even know why he does it.
But I think that's his
it's to escape his family.
I think he wants us to stomp his balls.
So,
not me. I know why he wants you to do it. He already made a fake Facebook this week to try and see your titties.
Right. I forgot about that.
Come on.
Did you know about that, Ross?
No.
Ross, did you know Tom made a fake Facebook to try and see Sam's titties? Not his own titties.
Even the titties.
Some bot did that or something.
Yeah, the Tom bot.
Tom
my
bot.
mom tells me.
The Russians, man, the Russians own that shit.
But okay, Kevin, you've grown vegetables before. There's certain vegetables like pumpkins and shit that will
there he goes again, always talking about Sam's pumpkins.
God
but
damn it.
they'll keep growing as long as you leave them alone or something. You know what I'm saying? They have perpetually no end, like hair or something.
You gotta know what you're doing, man. Whenever I tried to grow a pumpkin or a watermelon or anything like that, it rots out of the bottom before you can get it big enough. Like, I don't know what they're doing to help these things out.
You got to put it on a blanket. You can't let it. You can't let it grow on the wet ground. You got to let it grow on a piece of Visqueen or something.
But Kevin's right. They'll get a little rot hole, and then it'll
super glue.
they're never.
That's the good spot.
They're like inspecting this shit every day. They're like,
that's all they got to do.
Yeah, it's their whole life or something.
Yeah, when
It's
my wife
gotta
dies,
be your life. Yeah.
You guys know I love the Little House on the Prairie books, and she did one about her husband growing up, right? It's called Farmer Boy, and in that he grows a giant fucking pumpkin, and his trick was you let it grow a little while, and then you I think he spliced the stem into like a cup of milk, and he milk fed it. and he got a monster ass pumpkin.
I ain't milk feeding no pumpkin.
Oh,
That's goddamn
no crap. Ain't no milk in my pumpkin.
That's dark arts. That's dark arts. I'm not even feeding milk. No milk pumpkins in this bitch.
It's that leche.
I think we found with the Daniel draws the line of milk in his pumpkin. Because I'm
dark arts.
I'm not feeding no pumpkin any milk.
That's dark arts.
That's some bullshit.
That is some bullshit.
All right, next story, Ross.
Okay. I think we've talked about this before, but it's back in the news. Japan. The guys on death row are suing because of the same-day execution policy, notice policy. If you don't remember, if you're on death row in Japan, you're just sitting there, you're not doing shit, and then the day you're to be executed, they tell you, "Hey, it's today," and then they kill you.
Oh, I like that.
I do too. I
like
gotta
that.
be honest.
It's like when my wife's like, "Hey, I don't want to cook," and I'm like, "Let's go. We're going out."
Because if you know the day, then you're just dreading it the whole time, right? Surprise me.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that is like Kevin and we were talking to Jason Buckethead will be on this week's podcast, and people probably saw it on Facebook on our BDM Facebook Live. But we were talking about radio in general, and everybody will know what I'm saying is like. Every single day you could be fired, and everybody knows that in radio. It's like you don't know when your last day is.
Any point in time.
Kevin.
What? I knew what my last day was.
Well, God damn it.
You blew his point.
They told you before.
Ahead of time?
I had a random, hey, Kevin, can you pop on a Zoom call tomorrow at 10 a.m.?
So you got a day before.
The day before. And what I did was I went to the Zoom call. Hey, look, this one didn't work, but that one damn sure did. I went and I looked at who got invited to it. And it was, let's say, there was some lady's name on there. And I was like, I don't know who this lady is. And I Googled her, and I found out she was HR.
Oh, no.
Man, they're dumb.
And when I saw that, there was an HR lady on there, I was like, well, what else could it be? It ain't what is ever good when you have an HR lady on the call with your boss?
No, it's never good. It's never good.
No, it's
either harassment,
if
you're getting fired.
If you're a man, it's typically you did something sexually inappropriate, or you're being fired, or both.
Yeah, or you're written up or some shit.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that wasn't the case because I wasn't in the studio. Right.
So, but anyway, it's worse to me never knowing what day it could be, but knowing it's coming. It's like your radio career. It's like,
But that's weird because this is what you do to your wife. Like when you want to do something and you know she's going to be mad about it. Like if we have an event, you'll wait until the day of the event and you'll be like, hey, by the way, Sofa and Suds is today. I got to be there. And she'll be like, what? And you'll be like, it's just easier that way because she gets less mad.
True.
But that's not to spare her. That's to spare him.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. It is a
But he's also
move.
saying he doesn't want it. He doesn't want this to happen to him, but he does do it to other people. Again, unintentional dickhead.
I got to write the song now.
I don't know shit about women, but I would think give them a heads up.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, then they're mad for longer. And then they're mad at me for longer. And then every goddamn day I got to hear it instead of just all at once in one day.
You can look if you give them enough notice, you can tire them out before the event. If you don't, then they're gonna stress you out, make the event shitty, and then you'll hear about it after event. If you're hearing about the shit after the event, what was the point?
Yeah, I mean, you may be right.
Yes, Kevin.
Oh my God, soul brother Kevin, SBK life
Thank
coach.
you so much.
He's the only person you've ever listened to.
All right,
and that's because of the size of his goddamn microphone.
We're gonna hire Kevin to be our HR.
If you got a big microphone,
I can send you a link. I'll send you a link and hook you up with a big mic.
Hey.
I knew it. You're gonna listen to this little potato here, tiny little mic.
So they're saying that they want some more heads up when their execution's going to be.
They're saying stop this shit. We don't want to hang it over our head like this. And just for perspective, there's 100 people on death row in Japan. Nobody's been executed for 2 years. So just 100 people sitting there for 2 years every day, just wondering if it's the day.
Now I know that this is slightly racist, what I'm about to say, but if you're on death row in Japan and the show Squid Game comes out, you're like, I can't watch that, right?
I don't know if they can watch it.
Because it would be too similar to like being executed in some way, right?
Yes, or it's like I said, your final meal should be a shit sandwich with glass in it.
Oh, tonight. Be sure you stop by tonight.
Yeah. It's like, don't make your final meal
tomorrow.
delicious.
Or tomorrow night, sorry.
It's going to make you want to live more. Make your final meal horrible so you want to die.
It's kind of the same thing I've always thought of. Like, if you were in jail and then a jail show comes on, you're not going to watch that, right? Because it's too similar to what you're living. You want something different?
Yeah, well, I don't understand. Okay, so there's some new sitcom about somebody getting a kidney transplant. And I have no idea why that's supposed to be entertaining.
Right. Okay, I would agree with that.
Yeah, especially not to you because you lived through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or any old person who goes through. Why are there so many medical dramas? Why do black people watch police shows? Like, all kind of stuff. Like, I don't want to watch any of that bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, it's
I think it's fucked up that they're making that guy cook perfect food for Gordon Ramsay to get his kidney. I don't think that's fair, Kevin.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, and by the way, Squid Games pissed me off.
Oh, you don't like it?
I loved it. I thought it was excellent. I thought the participants were stupid.
Oh, right.
There was nowhere in the rules that it said that there had to just be one winner. There could have been more than one winner.
Well,
season 2 trailer came out this morning, I thought. So if you want to watch that.
What's that? What happened this morning?
They got a season 2 teaser trailer they just released for season 2
of Squid Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there were only like 3 games out of all of them where it was mandatory that people had to die. Because the tug of war, people had to die. The one where they were doing the red light, green light, you didn't have to die. You could have survived that. Like, there were some things where there could have been more people that would have been there at the end. And when it comes to the thing where they had to run across with the glass and all of that, oh, man, if they would have had more people, they could have. If you think about it, how it played out, there could have been more than one person that won the game. Could have been a group of people.
I did that, and the fact that the guards had more say, or they didn't have to run up the flagpole when they
their
asked
discretion.
They can make choices on the fly.
I was like, there's no way in this kind of environment. I mean, the head boss makes the rules.
He's a little loose with his power, isn't he?
Yeah, you let the guard, and like the guy said, "Hey, how about this rule?" And the guard's like, "That's acceptable." As he has an earpiece, you got to tell him.
I don't let Butler buy his Abreva at Publix. He has to run it by me first.
Yeah, the guards have too much say.
Butler just not.
Yeah, they lost their credibility when they turned the lights off on the glass bridge. You know, because the whole thing was it's supposed to be you have a equal chance here, and they fucked that up when they figured out there was a glass expert, and he fucked up when he didn't tell everybody he was a glass expert. They could have won the shit.
It's like corporate radio. The rules are the rules until they want. They're like, turn the lights off. This is not going the way I thought.
They say, get the number one, get the number one. I'm number one. Doesn't matter.
Right.
Turn the lights off.
It is very Squid Gaming. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Big fat Squid Game, no sleep.
Next story, Ross.
Speaking of firings, SBK, you served, right, in the military. Were you a Navy guy?
Navy, yes, sir.
Okay, we got a Navy story for you. We got a commander of a submarine and 2 other top crew members on a nuclear sub just got fired. They were patrolling the South China Sea, which, Tom, if you're not familiar, it's fucking crazy over there right now. So we got an American nuclear sub cruising around the South China Sea, presumably doing some fucking Navy shit. And these guys ran into what is being described as a mountain.
Underwater?
They were just cruising around undersea. There's a sea mountain there. And in what is being described as a completely preventable collision, ran into a mountain.
Yeah, and I read a little bit about this too, and all the people speaking out were basically saying that this should have never happened, right?
Yes, we got a British Royal Navy submarine captain quoted as saying he was shocked by the collision. The USS Connecticut is a very modern submarine, so it's kind of surprising.
Yeah, like
that's a British guy. So like multiply that by 1,000.
Yeah, exactly. He had glasses too, Ross. I think he had glasses, so that's like an extra 50. Like, no, this guy seriously. What? Like when they were saying this, they were checking all the boxes. They're like, we might have read the same thing, but it was like This thing's brand new. It's got redundancy systems on it. Like, this isn't something that, like, you should be... It's not fuck-aroundable is what the article, basically what I got out of it.
My wife's Chevy Traverse will auto-steer if you're not paying attention and start swerving in lanes. It'll steer, it'll push back and be like, oh, you're swerving. How do you just... Like, there's not alarms going off? Or, like, we'll shut down the motor when right before?
I kid you not. 2 days ago, I had a bicyclist jump in front of me right here. It's like coming past Publix, and my car just stops on its own. It just stops. It's like, no, you're good.
So, did everybody who was just standing talking shit? It was like, no! They fly forward. And then, for sure, you'd be like, oh, what do we hit? A monster? Like, right?
Why would you go to monster?
Like, I would scream, we hit a monster, because I would think, how the fuck do you hit a mountain, right? It's like impossible.
Actually, that makes sense, because of all the redundancy systems that we have on this thing. Yes, it's looking for mountains, not monsters. What do we hit? I don't know. It's got to be a monster.
Yeah. When we fly off our feet and land, I'm like, shit, we hit a monster.
Oh, we hit a giant squid.
Yeah, squid, monster, something. Not a mountain. Anyway, so they got fired for it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 3 guys fired. There were 15 sailors injured. They're headed to Guam as of the writing of this report to look it out for some injuries. China is pissed. They're like, what? Why did you guys have a sub there to begin with? And you're probably leaking nuclear waste all around our goddamn South China Sea now. They're pissed.
Oh, man.
So
they were either drunk or hacked. That's what it was.
Ooh, drunk.
Did
you ever get drunk when you... Were you on a boat, Kevin, in the Navy?
I was on a submarine.
Well, Kevin,
scary. That shit's scary. Not me, buddy.
We should reach out to Jive Turkey, which I think he changed his name.
He did. How dare you? It's Subbrief now.
He had to change it.
Subbrief?
Yeah, he had to change. It was brown sugar, but he kept it. He had to change it.
Just about how this even... because I would assume, like, even if an airplane, you start fucking around an airplane...
You don't fuck around in an airplane.
I feel like
vehicles that are
alarms will go off. Right? Like, Kevin, when you were in the submarine, like, I'm sure they told you, like, hey, if we're in trouble, alarms will start happening, right?
Let me just correct this. I was on a submarine once. Kind of like for a visit, like for a ride along,
Submarines scare the shit out of me.
I don't want to sound all official, but yeah, the redundancy systems. I don't see how that happens. It's like I said, it's somebody being drunk, neglecting the duty, or they were hacked. Sometimes, they're playing these games that we don't know about, and they take over their systems, and they, we got your sub, kind of thing, and next thing you know, you hit a mountain underwater.
I mean, okay.
Did anything break? Like, did it start leaking?
That's terrifying.
Again, they're headed to Guam to check it out.
All right.
Yeah.
But think of the helicopter, the Kobe Bryant helicopter crash, though. That was a fucking high-tech helicopter. It had all the sensors and the fucking fog, the detectors you're supposed to use in fog and stuff. And the guy just flipped the switch and turned them off or ignored them or whatever and hit it and clipped the hillside. I'm sure it was the submarine equivalent of that. They either...
No, that was a crazy pilot. That was a crazy pilot doing stuff he wasn't supposed to be doing.
Yeah, which Ross is saying that's probably what the submarine thing is. Same thing with that ship captain that was waving at his girlfriend, and I'm sure there was alarms like, you're too shallow. He just ignored it.
Same thing with me. I'm doing a wheelie on my bike. That's
it's the same thing. It's the wheelie on the bike underwater.
Wheelie on a bike.
Or that thing where your low tire pressure light comes on and you're like, I know they're fine.
Yeah.
No, there's something to that too. Like, if you know your let's say you know your ship, right? A lot of captains are that way. Like, no, I know my boat. I know this thing. They're stuck. They're stuck in their ways. Yeah.
But then when you hit, you're scared. You're like, no.
You start crying.
But the untold story is how many times he really did that shit and got away with it.
Right.
Right.
I don't know about you guys, but I go from real confident to like crying in like 2 seconds. Like, I'll be like, yes, I am the man. You challenge it, and then I'll just be crying. So sad.
I like that all it takes to convince Tom that ghosts are real is the equivalent of an underwater bumper, an underwater fucking bumper accident.
Well, that's just what I scream out. Before I collect
underwater
my head.
mountain is too hard to believe in. It's,
you got one last story, Ross?
Yeah, dude. Let's talk about the new mayor of New York. Bill de Blasio is on the way out. On the way in, Eric Adams. And he has announced He wants his first 3 Mayor of New York paychecks in Bitcoin, please.
All right.
Wow.
That's kind of cool.
So when you do this, you have to be doing it to promote Bitcoin because you know it'll be a story and it'll raise the price of Bitcoin. And if you own Bitcoin, it's good for you. Like this, manipulating the media to then raise stocks, raise things like this is a thing.
We're just a little more open about it now, right?
And it's pretty weird too because like you say that and then it becomes a story and guess what? Bitcoin's price goes up because it's all
until
over
they
the
decide
media.
that they need to regulate it, right? Until it becomes a thing where you can't do that because you're artificially pumping up the price, right?
Well,
Isn't that what they would do if it was traditional Wall Street?
Yes.
Man, this guy trying to hide money from his wife.
I don't do that. I just give my wife her own bank account. And then that's how I run things. I just we just have separate bank accounts. I don't really hide anything. It's just like that way I can spend money on stuff.
So
like virtual
Well,
planes.
this mayor from Brooklyn, so you never know.
So Ross, did they say if they're going to give it to him in Bitcoin? Probably not, right?
I don't see why they wouldn't. It's all in the future, so they'll have to work it out or whatever. But at this point, nobody said no to him.
Well, if I know the government, they can't get it together enough to then start open up a crypto account and get, they just be like, or give it to you in dollars. You can fucking buy your own Bitcoin, right?
Well, that's probably what he's going to do.
But yeah, he's just saying it so they could be on the news to promote Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Same thing with Brady giving that guy, that doctor.
It's just to say
one Bitcoin. Yeah, it promotes the fucking crypto, which is good for the price of crypto.
If it does work though, and I'm a clerk in New York City that works for the city or something, I'm gonna start demanding my pay in gold.
You know what?
If they'll pay in Bitcoin, you'll pay in fucking gold Krugerrands, dude.
I mean, if you can figure out it and they're willing to do it, why not, right?
Yeah, but I'm skeptical that any company, because this started happening in the NFL where this NFL linesman got his bonus in crypto. And I'm like, did the NFL really buy the crypto and give it to him?
So you're skeptical of it? You think it's all just an advertisement for the ability to buy crypto?
Well, I'm skeptical that they would go through that length to buy the crypto to give it to him in crypto. Just be like, we're giving it to you in dollars. You know what I'm saying? If I know giant corporations, they usually are like, come on,
even
you're being
here,
a pain in the
if
ass.
Sam and Butler and Tony wanted crypto, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that.
We're just giving you US
I
dollars.
barely get my checks on time. I'm not expecting Bitcoin.
We can barely. What is it, Truist? We can't even get them to send things. That's just going to make things more complicated.
Also, it's dangerous in the fact that it's so volatile that you could get 10,000 in crypto and then in
Gone.
5 minutes later it's worth 9,000 or what. You know what I'm saying? It will probably be worth more later on, but man, at that time,
It just sounds like you up to something, man.
Yeah.
We're going to give you a check, buy your own crypto. Why are you trying to be weird, dude? People getting shot here in New York City. Why are you trying to be weird? Get your money in cash.
Yeah.
And to do your job. Stop with the bullshit.
Exactly. Now, I would, if you want to just be weird, to be different or whatever, ask for it in Confederate money. Why don't you pay me? I want the Robert E. Lee statue from Virginia. I want that shit in my front yard.
Yeah, pay me in it.
Right, I want you to put Kanye head on it. Something crazy like that. If you want to be crazy, do something like that.
Wait a minute, Kanye replacing all Confederate statues with Kanye's head,
with the Kanye head,
but with the new haircut that his kids did. That I support that fully. I like that album. People shit on that. I like the new album. I think it's great.
What? It's my favorite. I got all the lyrics tatted on my back.
I love it.
That's the best album ever. I am a Kanye.
I know you are.
Zealot. I went to a Kanye West concert 2 weeks before I had my kidney transplant, and it was like a religious experience.
No shit.
But I realized that I am when people go, "You really like Kanye that much?" I realize that's weird, but that's my thing. So,
yeah.
Well, I like Kanye.
I like him too. I like this last album. I think it's great, but I don't know anybody other than you. Now I know one person.
Kevin, and
you know what? Wait, hold on. I got to say this. Daniel, you've been the only person that has consistently tweeted or reached out to me on every Kanye album.
Yeah, I do.
What do you think about that? Yeah.
Well, because SBK will turn me on to you turned me on to Jay Electronica, and then I listen to that, and then I'm like, oh shit, this is like some really 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 next level hip hop. So yeah, I don't know, I've always liked Kanye. I don't necessarily get wrapped up into all the controversy stuff, but I like the albums a lot.
Well, speaking of the controversy, because me and Daniel
I go pee? I got to pee so bad because we skipped the break.
Yeah.
Let's all pee.
But yeah, I know. We'll take a break soon.
I like this. This is fun.
But so me and Daniel talked about artists that still exist that are pure artists that do weird shit because they're so much into their art that they're not normal human beings, or at least I say normal, but what we all expect to be normal, act normal, not do weird things or whatever. And I put these people and make fun of them and be like, look at Kanye, he's doing this weird thing, and we bash them and shit like that. But we should be he's creating really unique art, right? And all these people that do end up having these crazy outbursts or maybe not acting like we wanted them to act or whatever is probably because they're just pure artists at heart, or like Kanye said, he's bipolar and he's letting that create, because you can't make the argument that they're not creating unbelievable art, but for some reason we want to bash them for it because they're not normal.
But the thing is, it's like creating a character in a video game. You can't have all your sliders up.
Yeah, exactly. If you have super speed, your strength is going to be smaller, or vice versa.
Right, if you maximize your strength, you're going to be slow as hell. However, when you connect, it's over.
Yeah.
And you don't have to connect that much. But I think we've worked with people, we've been around people where, Bubba can write a fucking song that people in the radio would love. He could write it over the break, but then he can't find his car in the parking lot. That kind of thing. There's all types of people that I think that we are sometimes not willing to accept that comes with the genius. We got to take the bad with the good, man. Everybody can't be everything. That you have a great career as an artist, but then your family's all to shit. Or how many great people you see, and then their son or their daughter has a drug problem, or they're in jail, or they do something stupid. But this person's awesome, and everybody's like, well, how did that happen to him? I don't know. It's always going to be like that. You can even think about, even for you, Tom, you probably have some things that, man, you maxing out.
He's got a lot of things.
I am.
Everybody has.
I do consider myself a podcasting genius.
I
tell
would you
my
say you're
wife,
the Kobe of radio?
I tell you, yeah. And then that, because
you've also changed your name to Tay.
I'm the Kanye West of podcast. I've heard people have said that before.
You are.
And they're like, he's a
Tomye
genius,
West.
He's bumbling.
I was thinking the Kanye
you can
West
get the
of drunk
haircut,
driving.
you'll be good.
Is that the Kanye West of drunk driving?
Yes.
Damn.
That's different.
All right, Ross, we got to take a break now.
Now we got to take a break.
I'm sorry. We haven't done an hour.
2 hours. We've done 2 hours.
We're going straight Burt Kreischer on this.
Yeah. So,
come see me at the Bull and Bush tomorrow, 9 p.m. We got a great showcase. Carmen Morales from LA is getting in town, speaking of Carmen Morales, we're going to head over to Austin's after the show, around 11 p.m.-ish, and do a live Tots with Ross at Austin. And, guys, if you don't mind, pay me for today's news in Shiba Inu coin, if you can, please.
I don't know if we can even touch that.
I got a little Dogecoin and a little Safe Moon for you.
All right, man. Hey, good shows tomorrow. I might see you tomorrow. I think I'm going to come out.
Okay, cool. Yeah, come on up.
All right, man. Cheers. See you later.
Bye.
There is Ross live from the art gallery. Kevin's still on the line. Kevin, hey, thanks for joining us, dude.
Man, I have nothing else to do.
Neither do we.
Check out Kevin's podcast, The SBK Show. You can find it everywhere where podcasts are found, right?
Yeah, but you can go to soulbrotherkevin.com. Hey, when they shut down Instagram, look, I didn't care about any of this stuff until I kind of got let go. But, when they shut down Facebook and Instagram a couple of weeks ago, and I saw all of these content creators who they put everything on YouTube and they put everything on these third-party services. And to me, that reinforced the importance of having your own website. Because at the end of the day, as long as you're paying your hosting bill, your shit's going to be going
That's
unless
true.
the Russians get hold to you. So SoulBrotherKevin.com is where I am disciplining myself to put everything up that I'm doing. And I'm only on the 3rd episode, but I have figured out, this was the hardest part, to figure out what goes where. I already have 3 episodes ready for my Patreon that just wouldn't sound right as a regular podcast.
Yeah.
They'd sound better if you wanted to take a deep dive. And like, I figure like Patreon is for like the hardcore people who really care about the minutia. So like, I got a Patreon where I did a interview with Tuttle. You know, stuff that people don't care about.
No, because I know you guys will get grimy.
Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I ask y'all something about Tuttle that I didn't have the balls to ask him when I interviewed him? I talked to him on the phone all the time, like a regular person in real life.
Yeah. Super crazy.
Okay, here's my question, and I know if anybody knows the answer to this, y'all know the answer, but I want to ask y'all so I don't have to ask him.
Okay.
Big old dick.
Does Tuttle have teeth?
Oh,
Damn.
man. You gave us the impossible challenge.
What?
I did not know you were
You
going
gave us
there.
the impossible challenge.
I swear I was ready for anything but that.
Anything?
Like, okay, no,
Yeah,
like,
I was like, I'm going now. It'd be easier to suck your dick.
no, and I'm talking. No, I'm talking about like his top row. Like, does he have teeth on the?
I think they're grinded down.
No,
I think there's nubs there, but I think they're grinded
maybe.
down.
I didn't say shit about
He's
it.
got great teeth.
Yeah, I think they look lovely. I was like, who is that?
Beautiful teeth.
Is that Tony Robbins?
No,
The best teeth.
no, hold on. Because one of my favorite things in doing terrestrial radio when I was in Orlando is every year the Monsters used to give away teeth, and that used to make me laugh.
They still do.
So many people would call in and be crying, crying because they're getting teeth.
Yeah.
And I believe everybody should have teeth.
Overall.
You know, one of the
Teeth are good.
This is a
I
true
like
story.
teeth.
This is a true story, but nobody liked this idea. But when I was getting disgruntled towards the end of working there, I had a promotions meeting. I said, "Why don't we just change the name of this shit to free teeth for people and just do only teeth?" And they were like, you don't like nothing. You're just a negative burr.
Only teeth is evergreen. You can do that every month. You can give away a pair of teeth of the week.
Tuttle should get on
Yeah.
only teeth and Joe's dick.
No, I'm saying that here's what I'm saying. Y'all didn't answer the question. Does he have them?
Yeah.
I answered.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
said I was going to get killed for it.
No, you're
No,
not going
it's
to
just-
get killed.
he's-
You're just going to get tortured in a
He
shed.
just got
Hold on.
small dolphin-like teeth.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
dolphin teeth.
They're smaller.
Okay. He never. Do you ever see him cheese? Like
No,
like
but
does
maybe
he-
he's, some people get self-conscious and stuff. Maybe he's running them thin line Pirellis. Thin line Pirellis.
He's
not
got
the thin lines, the rubber
Yeah,
bands.
I used to run them on my GTI. You run them little bitty Pirellis.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a fucking condom for your rim.
Yeah, he's got 20-inch tongue.
I have.
Spinners. Is that him calling?
Oh,
Is that
fuck.
his-
I have
Somebody's calling you and pick it up.
$500. I have $500 towards his teeth but they have to be all gold.
Well, shit. I
He'll
got
do it.
5 on that.
He'll do it. He was going to...
That's $1,000 on a gold front top row.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
all gold. So like a Bond villain.
He has to do
Yeah.
all gold.
We can make him a Bond villain.
Kevin, Tuttle will do anything. He told me.
He will.
He's like, I'll do anything. And he meant
Damn it.
What is his end goal? I want to know, what does he want?
World domination.
Yeah. It's like asking
Yo.
Kanye West that question.
I think it changes.
Yo, Tuttle want to win that Squid Game for real.
Yeah.
Tuttle
man.
would be in
No,
Squid
he'd
Game.
be,
The
he would
dyes
be
hair
the
red and
boss.
everything.
He'd be the big boss.
He'd be the old man. You're like, "Hey, you're number one.
Oh, spoiler alert! That guy's been in it all the whole time.
Oh, that got me too. That got me. I didn't see that turn coming.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming either. Well, hey man, we love you.
Yeah.
Good luck with the show, and let's do this more often, man, because I miss the heck out of you.
Yeah.
Anytime, man. I'm just trying to get my get my legs up. I don't know what the show's gonna be, but I appreciate people, following the journey. SoulBrotherKevin.com. I'm gonna keep the shows coming. I have, I've been getting a really good response, and I'll be honest, I got way more downloads in the first 3 episodes than I thought. And as soon as hey, do I have y'all permission to use the clips of y'all calling as a promo?
Yeah, dude.
Use whatever you
I was
want.
about to tell you, Kevin. Let's do a Patreon where we'll talk shit and we'll get on there, and then it could be a Patreon only.
Let's do it.
I can't fuck up my severance, man.
Oh no! We'll talk shit.
Yeah. I'm just saying in general.
No. The real shit's coming in about 3-4 months. The real
All right. We'll see you in 3.
No, I'm saving the real shit, but we can do some other shit. But the real shit is coming. It's going to be good. Where I name names. Yes.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, we're going to let you go. We're going to finally take a break and get some pee-pee time.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, Tom, Dan, Sam, everybody. I appreciate y'all.
All right, man.
No problem.
We'll talk to you soon.
See you, dude.
Later.
All right, peace.
I'm glad he forgot Butler. You deserve that.
How's everybody?
You deserve that and more. All of that
Well,
and more.
I mean, how Kevin was remember all the tiny little pieces.
Plus,
of the
your
show.
position, there's been a lot of turnover. Like he doesn't know.
Easy come,
He
easy
called
go.
you Lee. I was like, that's not Lee, and he hates that. Because,
But he is British.
He hates that because Swervy Jones repurposed his face in a cartoon. He'll never let it. He brings it up every Tuesday. He brings it up. I hear it. It's so sad.
I'd be mad too.
It makes me laugh. Keep doing it. Keep doing it.
The name of the band is Debt Neglector. They are local, and then we're going to go into another band.
Oh, they played fast.
Yeah, BDM band. This is a band that we've played before called Longest Haul. Both punk rock bands, both local punk rock bands. So get into this. We'll be back with more on Mediocre Time momentarily. 1-844-TOMNDAN. That is The Longest Haul with their song The Meager. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha and Butler are here. We got to talk to Ross and SPK. That was super fun. And now do we want to do a shot?
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
What is this now?
What do we got today?
What are we doing today, Butler?
This is Cooper's Mark. This is going to be our maple bourbon.
Yeah.
Mapley.
This is a ABC brand.
This
correct?
is an ABC, a proprietary bourbon.
I like that. I've been using that word proprietary a lot because of ABC.
It smells delicious.
It does.
It smells like maple syrup.
Cooper's Mark is actually really good whiskey, and it's reasonably priced. It's not. I know, like a lot of major businesses that try to come out with their own alcohol. It's like pretty low tier. This actually tastes like a quality whiskey.
Yeah, and they got
smooth.
That is smooth.
They got a lot of. They got a lot of varieties.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they. I like the peach.
Maple, single barrel.
I
everything.
do enjoy the peach. Shall we dump them?
Let's do it.
All right.
We got too many topics on the list today. It's the end of the motherfucking show. So come on, baby, let's dump them out and play. I wanna see your topics. Ooh, I wanna also see your bottomics.
Dump 'em Out brought to you by JustCallMo.com. This happened literally right before the show. My buddy from Miami that lives next to me, you know him, he got T-boned yesterday by like a 17-year-old teen that was speeding. And luckily he's all right, but, he had some injuries and it destroyed his car, totaled. You motherfucker. Sorry.
We do have a caller that he called last week about the headlight trick with the traffic lights. He wants to follow up with you.
Okay, we're following up.
Doug.
Injured on the go, just call Mo.
Yes.
All right, Doug. So,
Tom, how are you?
good.
Coming in hot.
I am the potato, Doug.
Doug, don't let him make fun of you, Doug.
I owe you an apology. You were correct last week.
No!
Headlights do not work. I called a traffic engineer. New technology was put in, and it's meaningless.
Oh, man.
Doug, hold on, Doug.
I'll send this guy some prizes. I feel bad that his trick wasn't working.
No. Don't feel bad. I said maybe. But I was really banged up. I was banged up.
What does that mean? Drunk?
But look. I was the one that started Track Tuesday on the Phillips file. in 1996.
Holy shit, that was you?
You're Doug Track Tuesday?
You're Track Tuesday Doug the Potato?
Bradshaw was an intern.
Yes.
And he used to run the bets that I placed with Otto.
Yeah. I knew that. I knew you propped up Bradshaw.
Today's the beginning of the Breeders' Cup.
He owns
and
his
I want
career.
you and your listeners to be able to win money. I got a couple picks for you.
Doug, listen.
The first race is in 25 minutes.
Listen,
let's talk about those ponies.
I'm jumping his ass off the Sanford Orlando Kennel Club and go in that glass building, pay $2, he can make the money.
Okay, this is the Ponies with Doug.
Doug,
Let's do it. Playing the Ponies.
I opened up my Hard Rock Sportsbook app, which is the
first
legal
my Rock Hard Cock.
Hard Rock came out with a sportsbook app. It's I didn't even know. I found out on my gambling page.
Call us Hard Rock. Yeah. You texted me like you just had another baby.
It was the most exciting.
He was so excited.
I'm like, it's happening. They're on there.
He used an emoji, Sam, when he texted me. It's crazy.
What?
I know.
Bad lines on two-team parlays at -130. I was like, -130? You're fucking ripping me off here. Sorry. Anyway, I'm trying to get them to advertise that.
All right, Doug. Hit it. Hit it, Doug.
All right, this is what I'm going to give you. Del Mar starts at 2:55. So, as you can see, you don't have much time.
Yeah, it's 34 minutes to be
Race
exact.
1, this is what you want to say when you go to the betting window. Del Mar, race 1. I want a daily double 4-8.
I want a daily double.
That's all you got to say. 4-8.
4-8.
At Del Mar. First race, 4-8.
Now, Doug.
And then you can also bet each one to win. I mean, if you want to, but the money's going to be on the daily double.
So, Doug, I want to ask you about handicapping.
Is this where you want to go with your gambling?
One more. I want to give you one more race.
Do you want to sound like this guy? Because all of these guys sound the same. Whenever you have one of your gambling brothers
I love horse race,
you
Doug.
understand that they all sound like... and then a little...
I started Track Tuesday, and Track Tuesday was a very big bit for about 3 weeks.
No, it wasn't big.
I used to go to Highlight, sitting in the dining room, smoking cigarettes, drinking beers, gambling, and the waitress came up to me. She goes, "How did our business pick up so much?" And I looked at her and I said, "I don't know. Do you think people listen to the Phillips Files?" She goes, "Oh, yeah, I listen." I said, "I'm the one that did that."
I did this. I did this.
I'm Track Tuesday. Doug, suck my dick.
Look into my eyes. You know what I am? You're looking into the eyes of a God maker.
All right, race 6, Del Mar. This is what you say. You go to the window.
I'm Del Mar Doug.
Race
and
6.
I eat world.
Now, this race is until 5:50, so you got plenty of time.
All right.
Okay.
Tom, you can even pick up the kids and take them.
Yeah.
Okay? So this is what you want to ask for. Race 6, Del Mar. Daily double, 8-6.
Wait, hold on.
That's
is
what
this
you
a
want to ask
this
for.
is a different one.
Now,
Right?
I'm putting hundreds of dollars on both of these daily doubles.
Okay.
I'm hoping it pays about $680, maybe $780.
And just in time for you to grab a dirty teddy bear at Walgreens and make your daughter's birthday party?
Oh, no.
Doug, hold on. Let's talk about horse racing real quick because I'm familiar with gambling and I'm trying to study and be better at it. And horse racing...
Oh, it's very difficult, my friend.
So horse racing is like confusing to me because I understand like handicapping two teams playing football, you know, based on statistics and based on players and based on, you know.
That's even difficult.
Yeah, it is. It's super hard to do, right? And at the end of the day, it's just a educated guess, and the best players in the world only get 55 to 60% right, in long term.
Sure.
And
you're absolutely correct.
So with horse
if
racing,
you're winning in gambling and you're at 60%, you're doing well.
Yeah. You're the best in the world. But Doug, how the fuck do you do this with horses? Like, what kind of analytics do you take into account? What kind of are you just doing? Like, I don't.
What it is, though, Tom, I'm much older than you. I'm older than Dan.
How old are you?
I mean, I've been playing this.
I'm
since
not
I
that
was
fucking
17.
old, Doug.
I don't believe it.
I'm older than you, brother. I'm as old as Dirty J.
Whoa! 72.
But I'm
My
actually,
God.
but plus one. But plus one. So I've been doing this since I was 17. My uncle took me to Laurel Park when I was like 13 years old. and his horse lost, and he goes, "Give me the BB gun. I want to shoot his knees out."
Oh my God!
Wait, you're gonna shoot a horse's knees with a BB gun?
First, I don't think that'll work. Second, why did you have a BB gun?
Hold on, let's bust this myth.
I actually saw the Triple Crown of Aladar in a firm in 1978.
Hold on, you saw the Triple Crown of Aladar?
That's what I call my penis.
You couldn't even get it out. It's so dumb you couldn't even get it
That's
out.
what I call my penis. I'm like, it's the Triple Crown of Eldadar.
Doug,
Sometimes it's the whole time.
Is this the New Zealand potato we're talking to?
No one knows what any of this means.
No, I got AIDS on you. And
You got
AIDS on me.
Don't put the AIDS on me.
So, Doug, you didn't answer my
No,
question.
I got age on you. And then let me tell you, you learn a lot through age. You learn about trainers.
This
You
guy
learn
sounds
about
like Young
jockeys.
Chong.
You learn about racing surfaces.
This is my favorite caller.
It's just
The
it takes a
whole
long time.
our team is fired. I only want horse race Doug.
What I
He's
wanna
my
know-
favorite.
I thought it was Pony Up Doug. I wrote down Pony Up.
See,
Doug.
so
if
Doug,
I win, you're gonna laugh, and laugh.
if
Pony
you,
up Doug's back.
Doug, if you win both those bets, I will give you your bit back on Real Radio
I
Track
want to
Tuesdays.
take Nerd Jock's place.
Done.
Yes,
Easy.
move it to
Done.
Friday.
No,
Doug,
I'm
Doug,
telling
if
you
both-
now,
man.
You can have it if you lose.
EJ is so close to losing his fucking bit because this guy's got the fucking magic, dude.
if both your bets win, I wrote them down, so we'll check after. If they both win,
Now, what are you going to do if one wins? Is
you're-
he on probationary? Can we try it?
Dog, yeah,
Because I don't
yeah.
want to let this fish go too soon, man.
So, Doug, my
Now,
main,
we will get bored with it after one more time.
Yeah.
my main question
Yeah,
is,
you know what? Jim Phillips got bored of it too. And you know
Well,
what he
yeah,
said?
3 weeks.
You know what he told to me, straight to me? He goes, because I got a little bit upset that he didn't even mention that I was giving him the picks after the second or third week, because it's a long story how it even started.
Sure.
But he goes, I'm not here to make you a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Otto was even taken back, and he goes, hey, man, that's just the way Jim is, man. And then so Bradshaw started going up the highlight and continued the bit, but he was making his own bets, and they lost every single time. And that bit 2 weeks later, gone.
We got bored of it just now. Just
No,
now.
I actually I thought he was going to go a
Hold
little
on,
more
they took-
sinister.
why they took your bet?
call him, and he'll tell you the exact truth. He'll tell you the truth.
Okay, I have heard this, and I didn't want to bring this up today, but I have heard.
Dad?
I have heard that Jack has stolen his bits from every
Yeah.
drunken hobo in Orlando. I have heard.
Yeah.
Now, look,
No,
I didn't
it
say this.
wasn't
This is
that
not
guy.
coming
He's a
from.
great stealer of
Jim
bits.
Hold
just
on,
said,
Doug.
"Go."
Doug, hold on. Just hold on for a second. I know that when you're
All right,
saucing
go
it
ahead.
up, I have heard. This is not from me. But I know you have heard this too. You
Yes.
were the first to bring it to my attention.
Yes.
That Jack Bradshaw steals all
Should
of
we
his,
talk about this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
From every drunken
everything.
hobo in Orlando.
Yeah.
And that's he's built his career on the backs of hobos.
No, I don't believe that.
So, Doug,
How dare you?
I got to ask you just one important question.
But he was an intern at that time.
Oh wait, all right.
Because Jana was on, Otto was on. I swear it was 96, 97 when it started. I don't know. It's like 25 years ago. Half
Yeah.
your listeners
That was
don't even
10.
know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I
they're all
don't
dead.
think Jana was on when Jack was an intern.
Mm-hmm.
Doug,
You know what?
Well, you're officially part of
Was there
our
a black
team.
lady on
Shit.
that. There was a black lady on that show.
Stacy?
Oh yeah, it was Miss
Miss B?
Oh,
Miss
Miss Pat.
B. Miss
Miss Pat.
Yeah, Miss B.
Miss B was
She
the
was on there.
first person I met at
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
Radio was Miss B.
So Doug,
Yeah, she was on there.
let me ask you a question. The first thing I ask anybody that says they're into gambling or whatever.
You know Otto. He is a professional poker player, basically. So if I know that, guess
You
who
either
told
are or
me
you
that?
aren't.
He did. I'm just trying to tell you, I'm not lying to you.
You better slow down.
I don't know,
You
you
gotta place these bets.
Doug,
you already got your bets in, right?
So anytime I talk to
I'm
someone,
all good, man, because I'm on twinspires.com.
Twin
so
Stars?
I'm in.
What's twinstars.com?
Twin, as in like the Churchill down Twin Spires.
Oh, okay.
Twinspires.com.
Twinspires.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's based in the United States. It's nothing phony. You can sign up for it.
All right, I got it.
Get me,
Doug,
get me on those twin.
It's specifically for horse race betting.
Get
All
me
right.
on those twin spires, Sam.
Doug, we gotta go, and we'll
Look,
Huh?
we'll touch base again and just follow my bets and how you can check my bets. Even you don't have the ability to go bet or whatever the case may be. Equibase, EQIBASE. equabase.com.
Is that your
Just
website?
Go to equabase.com.
What is that?
Equa, as in Esquarian.
What is
So
it?
just go to
Equestrian.
Equestrian.
Squarian.
Hey, Squarian.
I was squaring up.
SpongeBob Aquarian pants.
I started at midnight tonight, God damn it. I don't want to hear it.
All right,
Doug.
Doug, please call us back
Yes.
whenever you want, okay?
You're squaring me.
Hey, just follow my best, and then I'll call you back if I win. If not, I'm going to cry in shame.
All right.
You'll be all right.
We
You'll be
got
all
you.
right.
Good.
my God.
I liked beer. I still like beer.
This is what I
But
miss
did
about...
not drink beer to the point of blacking out.
Well, that guy did.
That
Doug,
was the fourth time he called today, by the way. That's just the first time I picked
Twin
up.
Spire, man. He's burning hot.
I do like that he called back to admit that he was wrong, though.
a lot lot will never do that.
That's a man.
Yeah,
you're a real man. He's a real man.
Yeah, like I like with this whole dowsing rods and
Don't talk
divining
about
rods.
it. It's a hot topic.
Dude,
People get so mad.
There are people that are losing friendships on the BDM page because of
Yeah.
it. Seriously.
I should have never started it.
I got ridden by some guy. He's like, it's like, this is tearing my family apart. I'm like, hold on a second.
Oh, people emailing mad. They're like, it does work, Tom. I've been doing it for years.
Tearing
And
families
I'm like,
apart.
That's
I'm
not
not kidding
proof
you.
of anything.
I'm not kidding you. I got one email that just said divining rods was the subject line. The email just said fuck you. It wasn't even signed. It was just fuck you.
Yeah. So the fact that Doug actually found some evidence, realized he was wrong, and then calls and apologizes is shocking. It's fucking shocking.
We need more Dougs in the world.
I'm not kidding.
Somehow we need more and way less.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know which it is.
I am not at all saying this to be mean to EJ, but if that guy's bets come through, Nerd Jock is gone.
Now, I was about to ask Doug, you wouldn't let me get through it. Is like, there's gamblers in this world that will tell me, they're like, oh, I love to gamble, whatever. I'm like, oh, yeah, why do you like Kansas City this weekend? And they're like, as soon as they start saying,
I got a hunch.
They feel this way,
I got a hunch.
Or start saying trends like since 1978, this team hasn't lost at home by 10, and like, well, what the fuck does that matter? 1978.
Yeah, we're in 2021.
That has nothing to do with
What's been happening this season?
No one from the team is even alive. They're all fucking got dementia. What do you say? That has no bearing on anything. And then I discount you immediately. So I wanted to see from Doug if he's basing feel and luck and all this bullshit.
I kind of like that he didn't say anything. It draws the bid out because if they both hit, then we're like, oh shit.
He's tracked Doug, and we'll get his picks. Although I'm pretty. Can you go on like any sports book and online? Because who the fuck is driving to the track? I don't even know where that is.
Well, no, he said Twin Spires. He said if we get on Twin Spires, it's based in the U.S. and we can do it that way.
Okay, I'm sure like a lot of these other gambling apps have it, right?
I guess. I don't know.
I've never bet on horse racing. I know nothing about it. It seems like a pure fucking roulette spin to me.
Big in England.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be
Twin
fun.
Spires specifically is horse race
I think
betting.
it would be fun. You know, like there's a version of me that involves me like placing a bet and going to watch them, you know, and have the dinner with my wife.
It's old school.
It's like an old entertainment, right?
It's like watching two people fight to the death.
A little bit.
You dress up, you put on a hat, and you're like, let's watch this horrible animal.
Yeah, look at them whip them. Whip them good. And then you're eating the same animal, basically. You're eating like a big prime rib.
Just
you eat like
you're a slower,
thick-ass cow.
Slower version of the animal.
Yeah, look, I'm eating you.
And then you watch it, and you're just betting on nothing because who the fuck knows who's going to win. And then you're like, I lost.
And then so there was horse racing, and then poor people were like, fuck, I want that. So they got dog racing. Right? And then poor people were like, and you
I
go
think
there.
you figured it out.
And then they
you eat
canceled
like
the poor
you're
one.
eating like a hot dog.
No more dog racing.
Everything is canceled for poor people.
Rip it down.
Healthcare, fuck you.
We gotta save these dogs, but whip those horses, whip their legs, whip them twice as hard because we have a lot of these whips are left over for the dogs.
Shoot them if they fall down.
All right.
Put a curtain around it.
You want to dump them? We played dump them out already, but then we took
Oh, I
the
thought you were going.
Let's just
Sorry,
call
I smoked a little
Tony.
weed, and she
Call
was like,
Tony? I don't.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Did he say?
"Are you high? Why would we call Tony?"
Because I gotta ask him. Okay, yeah. He said here.
I got his number.
Okay.
I had
What?
I had to speak with him yesterday about some pins.
So basically, Daniel went this week is like early
2 days
week,
ago.
2 days ago. Daniel's like, "Fuck, our Twitter got hacked, and not only did it get hacked, they changed our email address."
Well, instantly, it must have been a program. You can see when these automated emails come through from like a social network, and So we had like 4 emails, and if you look at the timestamp, they all come in at the same time. It's like, you know, it was like a program of some sort that I guess snagged our Twitter and then instantly changed the email to something, so I can't get in there.
So Daniel's like, I'm going to try to see if we can get it back, and he tried contacting Twitter. Good luck with that. And then we just got nothing. And then as Daniel started researching, Daniel's like, well, this apparently happens to a lot of people, and you just have to start over. There's really...
Oh, yeah, me and Butler did a lot of research yesterday.
There's nothing you can do about it, and I'm like, nothing? We're like...
Unless you're Anne Hathaway.
I mean, unless
you're
like,
super famous.
Unless you're like mega famous and you...
Or the president,
And you tick somebody's, you know, I guess eyeballs. Yeah. No, they're not going to do anything for it. Now, I thought maybe... And I thought maybe I could do something with this. Like
you're verified.
Yeah, I'm verified. But the only reason I'm verified is because somebody did have a fake account of mine back in the day. And the way that they remedied that really early on, because I got on Twitter like the first week it was out, was they'd remedy it by giving you a blue check. Now it's like more of like, hey, it's cool if you have a blue check. I don't give a fuck, whatever. But anyway, I thought maybe I could leverage that or say like, hey, since I'm verified, can you check? They don't care. They just check it. Oh, not from this email. Fuck you. You know, we're not doing anything.
Up until yesterday, we were just at the crossroads of, well, I guess we'll just start a new show account. By the way, this is our Tom and Dan account, Twitter account. How many followers do we even have?
11,000, 9,000, something.
So we got a decent amount, so it kind of sucks to just start back over from one, you know?
Yeah, right.
And all over, like, we didn't do anything. And, like, you think you could just call or, like, email someone and be like, hey, this happened, and they could look at it and be like, yes, obviously, you've had the same email address for, I mean, how long have we had our Twitter for?
11 years?
11 years, and then all of a sudden it changed.
May 2009 is when you joined, and 11.3K followers.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, then we were like, all right, I guess not. Just we'll start over. This sucks, right?
I mean, well, here's the thing. It's still active.
Right.
I'm still logged in because I use, like, my workflow. I use, like, you know, a certain social media aggregator to, like, put everything together.
That's got a locked in.
And whoever snagged it, they're not doing anything nefarious with it. It's not like they're putting dick pics or like, hey, you know, or they're not saying, you know, Sleepy Joe this or attacking this person. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. But right now,
wish they were.
I'm still, I would laugh a little bit. But I'm just putting the shows out. It's business as usual on my end. I'm just trying to get it back in the background.
Yeah. But we have no way to access it because someone else hacked it and stole it. Anyway, so we were on the cusp of just giving it up to God and saying, well, that's it. We'll
Starting over.
Until Tony, our social media guy, Tony Palmiotti, and owner of Ahoy Cruises, if you want to...
Yeah, he just got back with a bunch of BDMs on a cruise. They look like they had a blast.
All I saw were pictures of men kissing each other.
Yeah.
Are you only doing gay cruises now, Tony?
No. That was Tully. You know what's going on there.
we do know, Tony. We've made a lot of jokes about Tully butt-fucking you.
We knew that he was butt-fucking you. I'm glad that we can get you.
We say that in the studio. We're like, Tully butt-fucking Tony.
Do you know how long Tony's been holding in this butt-fucking fear?
Tully's
so
sucking Tony thick.
We know it. You got to be your true self.
Anyway,
man. Live a genuine life.
Tony told us the other day that Tony's like, nah, don't worry about it. I got this Russian hacker. He can get your account back $100.
I'm like, what?
100%, $100.
It was the fastest I agreed to spend $100 in my entire life. I was like, do it! Because I just want to see what happens.
Even if this guy rips us off, it's a good story.
It's a great story.
So, Tony, why do you know a Russian hacker that can get our Twitter account back for $100?
Well, I also know the dark web, as you know. So.
I did not know that.
No, I don't know that. I'm learning a lot.
If I knew that, I would have hit you up for drugs a long time ago.
Tony's been on the show for, or with us for a long time. He's only been on the show like maybe 3 times. The third time he's on the show, he says, I'm butt-fucking Tully and I'm dark web man.
You know what? Chatting with the masters it is.
Apparently. We got to line it up.
So, tell me about the dark web and how...
Well, actually, I did some research, and I'm finding out also that when you open a Twitter account, it might be better off to use your phone number rather than your email, because that's a lot harder to hack into.
Two-step verification.
As authorization.
And we didn't have that, see, early on when you had Twitter. I mean, this is like new shit. Our Twitter, we got Twitter back when we were single-digit 2000s. You know?
Right. Yeah, 11,000 people's a lot of people, boy, that follow, so we got to figure out a way. So I did some research. First, what I did is, it's really weird because when you go to Twitter, they go, okay, yeah, no problem. What's your Twitter email? And then we'll take care of that for you. And we'll go, well, look, they hacked in and they changed the email, so my email that you have is no longer going to work. Well, yes, but what's the email used on the account? You try to tell them that 4 times, and they're saying in emails back and forth, and you're telling them, well, the reason why I can't get in is because they changed the email on us. So, I mean, that was the first thing, and it's frustrating because you would think they'd have a better way of verifying,
So
But,
I guess if you're that big and it's free, I mean, what the fuck? I don't care.
So
who cares?
I want to know the Russian hacker. Does he advertise this on the dark web? Like,
He has a billboard like that vasectomy.
No. I asked my son to see what he can do.
Don't
and he went on
incriminate
Reddit.
anybody, Tony.
I know.
Jesus.
Tony's got
And
connections.
there
That's
was
all we need to know.
Some links on Reddit that went to somewhere else, and he really wouldn't give the
8chan.
details.
Next thing you know,
And
Tony's
he
up there. I
said,
gotta storm the Capitol, then I'll get it back. I'm getting it. No, don't go. You're going too far.
He's got the podium.
He's running with it. Oh, God. I saw Tony on the news. He's wearing a Davy Crockett hat. He's going crazy.
So he got some Vladimir Smirnov guy for $100.
That's
that
racist.
says he's gonna bring it back to life, and I'm like, okay. So I got your information. I was chatting with him, and basically I told Daniel, I said, you know what, we got this, but let's wait another day for Twitter and see what they say.
Yeah.
Because we're just a little scary. But
we're going to give it
but
24.
the fact of the matter is, if we can't get back on that account, it's useless to us anyway.
Tony, I'm going ahead and say just do it.
Nike.
Contact the Russian hacker. Say, here's $100. See if you can get it back. Because I'm skeptical that he's just not trying to steal $100.
He's trying to touch everything else. He wouldn't talk to me, though. He goes, I have to talk to the person that opened the account. I will not talk to you. So, Daniel's going to probably have to...
I don't want to do it.
I know you don't want to do it.
I'm going to do it.
Just pretend you're Dan. It's fine. How will we verify that?
Look, we're so deep into this now, I might as well assume your identity, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
All right, that's fine. Just pretend you're me. That's fine.
It's like that time I mailed Tony a check, and he's like, you forgot to sign. I'm just signing my name. Who cares? Like, it doesn't matter.
No, Tony when he gets to the characters, man, he goes all in. Like, he told me he's going to play me. He has to fuck my wife first. I'm like, all right. Okay, you can do that, Tony.
Tony, just tell the Russian that you started the account. He doesn't fucking know.
He knows. He knows all.
Whatever it takes to get us started. And how does that even work? How can he hack back into it? I guess the same way the hackers did to us?
Well, this is why we're talking about this now. This guy knows what he's doing, apparently.
But how do I know?
Apparently he has a lot of people that recommend him as well.
How do I know that this guy isn't going to take the knowledge that I give him and then use that to hack into everything else I got?
True.
And then next thing you know, he's fucking my wife.
We're playing with fire here.
This is a problem. I mean, Daniel, I know you're good with mixing up passwords all over the place. So
we have the same password for everything.
Yeah, man. Batman 69. It's like everybody's password.
So Tony, go ahead and just just approve the Russian hacker.
How are we paying him though?
Bitcoin,
Zelle.
Oh man,
Zelle. I got Venmo.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Also, Daniel, there's other things. I'll have to talk to you.
I don't want to suck this guy's dick.
There's other things involved.
I'm sucking this dick.
Oh my God, Tully's gonna be there.
Yes.
All right, Tony. Well, thanks for helping us. We appreciate it.
No problem.
And we'll talk to you next time when we figure out if this Russian. Because I want to keep up with it.
Yeah,
next Friday we'll check in.
Next Friday, all right?
Yeah, sure. I hope we're back up by then on Twitter. We can
all right,
tweet
man.
away.
All right,
Okay.
man. Have a good weekend, Tony.
You too.
Later, bye.
Tweet away.
I only do that to make him uncomfortable. You know that.
We should do a bit every Friday. We have long conversations with Tony.
Checking in with Tony.
And let's see
And
what
Vladimir
he says.
Smirnoff.
Dark web tips with Tony.
Yeah, let's just check in with him and just be like talking to an old man. Like we're trying too
Let's
hard.
see what inappropriate things he'll mix in the conversation.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Let's just call it, hey,
he's not doing it on purpose.
I got an
He just
idea.
Doesn't know any better.
You know what we call it?
Unintentional creepo.
Echo. We call it echoes from a different time. Echoes from a different time with Tony Palmiotti. We have a call. I'm talking to this Oriental man.
Tony!
Oh, then we take shots where every time he says
Oh my
something.
God, we're hammered.
We should talk to old real men and take shots with some.
Is Tony a real man?
What's he doing?
No.
He's talking louder at the Spanish man.
All right.
That was fun today.
Oh,
we're not going to take another break, right?
No,
We're done.
no, we're done. I will end with this. I went to the doctor, and I know this is
What do you got?
a stupid Seinfeld-esque rant that I don't
Yeah.
mean it to be, but literally, I don't understand why.
It's a scratch.
I'm filling out the virtual form, and now like all forms are like they hand you an iPad or some sort of tablet, and then
Yeah.
you fill it out. So
Do you like that or hate that?
I like it because
Have you ever
I-
accidentally hit a button and had to walk back up there and get a new one?
I
No.
I don't fill out anything. I'm just like next.
Also, what makes me mad is
And it doesn't matter.
you already fill one out online when you make the appointment, and then they make you redo the same fucking forms when you get there.
And it doesn't even matter because
No.
I just hit next the whole time. I don't fill out anything, and then there's like I'm right in. Like no one ever's like, hey, you didn't fill out your pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
No one ever cares, so it doesn't matter. But on the form, it has your address. And then with the digital form, you have to go to the spot where you type in the country you live in.
Yeah,
and
got
then,
the pull down tab. Yeah,
Yeah, you pull down the tab, and it's fucking alphabetical.
Right.
And so it's like Afghanistan, right? Like, and just somehow whoever makes these programs just put the United States or whatever country this is in.
And it's definitely possible because other places where you'll fill it out, if you put in like the first half of your address, it'll autofill United States. So the technology is there.
Yeah, and also just have United
Best
States
for last, motherfucker. True patriot.
Just put United States
Best for
first,
last.
and then scroll down the whole the thing to you.
Best
to,
for
you know,
last, USA.
Just
He
put-
says USA on top.
USA on
No,
top.
Never stop.
I agree. USA on top never stops. Sure. I'm all for it. Whatever's going to make it easier, I'm all for it.
or just
We
whatever.
got Doug calling back.
No,
Line
okay.
2.
Yes! Let it go. Doug, you have the floor.
Tom, get off the air. You got 8 minutes to post time.
Wow, this guy's
Call
really
me.
gambling.
You're fucking up your
You
life.
got 8 minutes.
This game's looking out for you.
Hold
man.
on,
Yeah,
let me
Man's
go.
looking out for you.
I don't know if my
He's 9-5 favorite. The horse is going to pay $460 just to win.
Oh man.
Just to win.
Let me
Just to
look
win.
on
Get your
the.
life in order. Sam got her bets in.
Yep.
Sam got her bets in.
I'm trying
I
to.
got my bet.
Twinspires.com.
Twin
Yep.
Spiders,
Whatever the hell
baby.
it was.
U.S.
Well,
based.
you know,
What you
you
know
know,
about them spiders?
You gotta sign up for that, Doug. Or the whole you gotta put your whole.
Put your
You
address
did.
in.
You said you had a bookie. You had a rock, whatever,
Mr.
hard
Red
rock.
Shoes.
Yeah, I don't like your tone you're using with Doug.
I know what. I can't go in my regular app like Bovada. Hard Rock doesn't have is this local?
Oh, veto. 3 hour veto.
No, bro. It sounded like you were trying to
I
eat.
told you to send Butler to the Sanford Kennel Club, and you didn't do it.
It's true. It's true.
I'm sorry, Doug.
Yeah.
You know what? It's my fault. If
You
I
let Doug
lose,
down.
if I lose,
Yeah.
I think if your bets win, you win, Doug. You win EJ's bit. It's Track
I
Tuesday with Doug.
appreciate it.
And
You guys have a great weekend.
All right.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Tom. That's what I say. Man, I'm having a good time today.
Anybody want to bet that both bets won't win?
Yeah.
Because I'll bet high.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have faith in Doug.
Yeah,
I kind of
don't
feel
know.
like this guy. It's fun. What he's really winning is the fun he's having by having ultimate confidence and throwing the money and being on the air. And then when he falls asleep in the chair at the dog track, and they're waking him up, he still won because in his mind he's living the life.
that-
You dropped your hot dog.
Yeah, that's something sad. Sir, there's a lady calling here saying you missed a birthday party.
Those lifers and horse racing and dog racing.
Yeah.
Sad.
There's a reason that's why Squid Game started that way, right?
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the dirty teddy bear guy.
Yeah.
When I saw that though, that hurt my. I can't watch those anymore. We've made so many jokes about that, and I know Okay, this is
It's
really
degenerate.
shitty. No, I know people now that I went to high school with that are friends of mine. I don't, we're like hanging out or anything. I don't hang out with adults anymore. I hang out with my family. That's it.
They're like got addicted to degenerate.
Well,
gamblers.
no, they're just the bad dads, though. They're the guys that are missing the birthday. They're showing and coming in at the last minute of the birthday party and forgetting their pay. They're not. They will pay their child support, but they don't do it on time.
Yeah.
I know those
absent,
people.
and they they're in jail.
No, they'll get. They have to go to court again.
Yeah. I've never actually met someone that was legitimately addicted to gambling to the point where they've ruined their life.
There's a person in my family that had to go to treatment for it.
Yeah, and
there's a person I'm looking at right now that might be on that path.
No, that's that's the people that gamble money they can't afford to lose, and
I don't know what kind of money the business has anymore because you guys are saying you're putting in bets with business money.
But we make a lot.
Yeah, we
do. Yeah,
the amount that's coming and go, you wouldn't want to see it. I mean, if you looked at our bank account, it looks like if you're looking at all the planes flying across North America, the amount of transactions that we're doing and microtransactions, the ones you don't see that are running in the background.
And most sponsors don't even know what they're paying for anymore. We just bill them and they just pay the bills.
This is a true story. We
have
up to 10 ghost sponsors right now that are sponsors that we had in the first 5 years of Tom and Dan that don't know we still have access to their bank account. We're slowly leeching it. Leeching it dry.
Yeah, they're just paying literal fact that
I'm looking at you, Wardabugs.
Start sending invoices to big companies. They'll just pay.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
They don't know about it. The accounting department will just pay it.
You know how we found that out? We paid Remy's Round Table $1,000.
God damn it!
If you send us an invoice, we'll just pay it too.
You know what? I'll shout him out because he's
doing something good.
He's doing something really good. I make a lot of Remy jokes. Dude started a Patreon, and 100% of the proceeds go to help out. His sister has a disability, and 100% of the money that he makes from his Patreon is going to help a charity that she works with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's a great person. Good dude. He's a good dude.
What happens if you raise zero?
Let's get out of here.
I'm just telling you facts. All right.
That's how I feel, my core.
What are you doing, Ty? You got 4 minutes.
Semantics.
Yeah. So tonight, if you're listening live on Friday night, me and my husband are streaming on Twitch. We got our Twitch stream up. We're finally affiliates on Twitch. Please follow us and subscribe. Twitch.tv/semanticsmedia. We'll be continuing our journey on It Takes Two, which is a horrific, seemingly child game, but it's very dark.
How much for you and your husband to play strip Mario golf for Tom and I to watch?
The thing is, you can't show that much on Twitch.
No, private
viewing. Private. I'll have to speak with
super creepy. No cameras. We're just standing in the balcony.
At my living room?
No, we're standing in the balcony of the Wayne Dench Performing Arts Center, and you guys are on stage.
Oh, like Squid Game.
It's just us. And we have masks on.
Hold on. Okay, I got an idea. For BDM Infinity, I finally got it.
BDM Infinity? What the hell is that? What happened while I was
I'm going to
gone?
go ahead and distance myself. I was fucking around. This guy, look at his wig.
No.
Look at his wig. He's just adjusted his sex wig. He has a sexy
squid wig.
He put his squid wig.
Squid wig.
He put his sexy squid wig on. He gets horny. He has to put a curly wig on. He looks like the greatest American hero.
I finally came up with the idea. We start BDM Infinity finally, and then it's expensive. Like
dude, your hair, fix it, please.
No, leave it.
It's $5,000 a year, right? But you get a BDM Infinity, and then we have we'll rent out like OLE or some sort of and
then
a
church now.
all the members of BDM Infinity will show up with masks, and then we will watch some sort of game that ends in live sex, right?
This is your future plan.
And then we drink, some, whatever.
Cooper's Mark.
Cooper's Mark. And then,
I don't know that ABC wants to be involved.
I don't know.
And then it's like, they lie. And then they're live sex. We're watching
we're watching live sex, and then at the end we get them back on stage. I'm like, look, everyone. Hold on. I hope you enjoy the ominous and strange live sex show. If you will all look under your chair, there's a free bottle of Cooper's Mark Maple. Like that.
I'm just saying, everybody always wants to be in these secret societies where you put on a mask and you watch something fucking nuts.
You want to do that.
Why? Just assume other people want to do it too.
Okay.
I'll be recording You Heard About This One this weekend, which is the conspiracy podcast I do with my friend Derek. It is on the Semantics Patreon. That's patreon.com/semantics, but they are free episodes. If you go to semanticspodcast.com, there's a little link that you can click on that will take you straight to the You Heard About This One episode, so you don't have to scroll through pages Patreon for him. And I am going to do Monster energy drink is the devil's juice.
Yeah, have you heard that?
So
No.
tune in for that.
Right.
Also, not semantics related, but I just wanted to throw it out there because it's just for today. Local band Virginity. We've talked to Casey before on the show.
Yeah.
He blew his knee out at Fest. So they are doing this thing where they're selling both a poster and a 7-inch lathe cut picture disc today only on their Bandcamp. That's virginityisrad.bandcamp.com/merch.
Oh, sweet.
So that they can help him pay his medical bills because he has no insurance.
Oh, I'll
and he
buy that.
literally blew his knee out like the 4th song in on their set. So he didn't even get to finish their set.
Dad Rockin's hard too because and that band's fucking great. And
They are great.
Yeah, but when you
It's a
get
bummer.
to like 30,
that was their first fest, and he blew his knee out
Yeah.
4 songs in. So
I'm not at all
trying
saying
to help that guy out.
I'm not at all saying he's old, but when you get to be 30 and you go launching up to like rock fucking hard, you better have stretched because you might blow something out.
Yeah, it was like his ACL or MCL or something like
Don't
like
Don't know
that.
the exact
He was
thing.
feeling
He just
it,
said
though.
his knee exploded.
Well, they're
they had to
great.
carry him out on a stretcher.
They're an amazing band to see live. If you've seen any of their, you can go online and see some of their live performances, and make sure you pick up those records.
Check them out on Audio Tree.
Yeah, the Audio Tree is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, go check that out because that's like a dream come
Yeah,
true
but that
for them
is
to be able to do
for
that.
today only. So if you want to buy that today.
All right.
And go check out some of our watering holes. I know we got a new one, Dade City.
Yeah, definitely. Dade City
yeah.
Brew House.
Yep.
They're actually a new watering hole. They actually have a brews and brunch this Sunday from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Go check them out. They'll have that, and then no live sex acts, but they have live music acts at
Damn
the
it.
Tuffy's Music Box. Go check them
Yes.
out. We had Dan St. Pierre in this past week, and
That'd
there's
be
a lot
good
of really
venue
cool
for
stuff coming up.
One of your live sex shows.
Oh, the music box?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, any place. You could do it anywhere, really.
Well, yeah, I don't know how many BDM Infinity members I'm going to
You
have.
could fit at least
right?
500 in the music box.
No,
Well,
that's
that's
true.
too much. You're not going to be that.
That's
It's
too
going to be
big.
me.
It's going to be intimate.
It's going to tactical hat.
Tully.
Tully
will have to be there.
No, I
Well,
don't
he's
think he can
dating
afford it,
Tony
though.
now. So.
Norm will
Alright.
be there, but he'll just sit in the parking lot.
Yeah, I
He
don't
won't
think Norm can
actually-
afford it. I think that's only me and tactical hat.
I'll be there.
Oh, yeah, Daniel.
Pony
yeah.
up, Doug.
I'll be there.
No, he
What's the?
lost it all.
What are the? I mean, is it just a watch only, or can I masturbate?
Ooh. What are
We'll
the
put
rules?
a
I
we'll
got
put
a
towel
robe on. I have a robe on.
Yeah, but I don't want to see it. So
I'll
you
bring
have
the
to-
box.
No, you're not gonna see it.
Oh, yeah.
I still
You're
got
not
the
gonna
jack-off
see
box.
it. It's You're not gonna see it. It'd be like I'm checking my watch while I'm getting my hair cut, and you just see my hands moving under the tent.
Yeah, but I'll see. I'll have the elephant mask, and I'll be like, oh, he's jacking it. He's jacking it.
No,
Stop. Like, anyway.
What if I told you I can jack it down?
Downward?
Yeah. You ever tried that?
Wow.
It's the best way to not get caught when you're getting a haircut jacking off. I heard.
I can feel her moves.
Yeah, I heard. No,
Oh
you-
my
no.
God.
I'm just saying
But
that
there's
happens.
something about when you look down in there and you see the canyon, and they're holding their.
Oh, yeah. All
Sometimes
right.
I naturally.
Doug's calling back. He can't
We're
stop.
ending with Doug. You have the floor, Doug.
All right, guys. Tom, you were right last week. Guess what? I was right this week. The 4-1 the race.
No.
Doug.
Doug.
I like that. He's in and out. He's in and
Oh,
out.
he just fucking karate dick
Yeah,
chopped
he did.
you,
He
and
said
he's like,
suck
my
it.
job.
He said suck it.
My job, suck it.
I even like. I like it.
Wait a
I like
minute.
Doug.
Oh, you want to?
I like Doug.
This guy wants to be cuckold.
I knew it.
I like watching that. I like watching that guy.
All right, well, let's get the
We did it. We did the 3-hour show. God damn it.
We're gonna get out of here. We'll
God,
see you
I
at
gotta edit.
We'll see you at Sofa and Suds. Bye bye.
Wait a minute, I can't publish that. It's mediocre.